Opening the era of black technology. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 26. This is not a small effort. I've already arrived in J City. Mr. Su, please tell me when we can meet, Ho Minghe said. Where are you? Su Pingan asked. He didn't expect Ho Minghe to be here already. It was really surprising. Room 507, Shangri-La Hotel in the city. Ho Minghe gave his address. Wait a minute, I'll be there in about 30 minutes, Su Pingan gave the time, and the two exchanged a few polite words before hanging up the phone. Ho Minghe hung up the phone and let out a long sigh. He didn't expect the young masters of the Zhang family to treat him like this. Lin Yide was right. He had no place to stand in Jiangsu and Zhejiang. Even if they knew that he was wronged, they would not hire him. Don't count on big companies. With such a bad reputation, they would definitely not hire him. Even if he went to other places, he had to make a living. Ho Minghe had made money over the years, but after buying a house and a car, he basically didn't have much savings. In addition, his wife divorced him, and after the division of property, he was left with nothing. The child was also awarded to his ex-wife by the court, on the grounds that he had no job and could not raise the child normally. What was even more hateful was that the Zhang family cooperated to slander him for corruption. Alone, Ho Minghe had no choice but to leave the Jiangsu and Zhejiang areas. He met Lin Yide, who told him about Su Pingan and hoped that Ho Minghe would go to Su Pingan to talk. Although the salary was not high for the time being, it would definitely be adjusted in the future. Without a good place to go, Ho Minghe packed up his house, rented out the house, and came to Su Pingan with his luggage. If it was suitable, he would stay. If it was not suitable, he would go to Beijing to fight directly. With this mentality, he called Su Pingan when he arrived in J City. Su Pingan rode very fast and arrived at the Shangri-La Hotel in less than 30 minutes. He went straight to Ho Minghe's room and knocked on the door. Come in, a voice came over. Su Pingan pushed the door open and entered. As soon as he entered, he saw a middle-aged man standing next to the coffee table. The two looked at each other. Mr. Su, right? Please take a seat, Ho Minghe said. Lin Yide showed him a photo of Su Pingan. Hello, Mr. Ho. Su Pingan was also very polite. He shook hands with Ho Minghe. The two sat down and Ho Minghe poured Su Pingan a cup of tea. Mr. Ho, did Lin Yide tell you about my business in detail? I'm going to be straightforward. I hope you don't mind, Su Pingan asked directly, not polite at all. Mr. Lin Yide just accepted that Mr. Su wanted to start a company and needed financial personnel. He didn't say anything else. Ho Ming told the truth. I'll tell Mr. Ho in detail. I'm very satisfied with Mr. Ho's financial level. As for the situation of my company, Mr. Ho will make a decision after listening. I founded a trading company. After Su Pingan finished speaking, he looked at Ho Minghe and did not hide the fact that his company's license would only be issued in 2 days. Mr. Su, as far as I know, your trading company does not have a large amount of money, so there is no need to hire a financial staff like me. Ho Minghe raised his doubts. A trading company with a few people, it is a complete waste to hire a financial staff of my level. It is not cost effective. Just hire an ordinary financial staff. What does Su Pingan mean by doing this? It's very simple. The trading company is just the beginning. When my trading company's business is on the right track, I will set up another game company, step by step. Now the financial work is very easy when the game company is established. It will not be easy. There are many things, so the financial manager I hired not only has to handle the accounts, but also to train the company's own financial staff. Now the company has few people. It will increase step by step over time. You understand what I mean? Su Pingan said directly. I understand. It seems that Mr. Su has already planned the development route of the company, Ho Minghe said directly. Yes, what I will build in the future will be a large group, spanning multiple industries, and each industry goal is to be a leading enterprise. Without a qualified financial staff, it won't work. Su Pingan is not modest at all. Ho Minghe hesitated for a while. This was just Su Pingan's plan. No one was sure about the future. Would a trading company with only a few people be his home? He would not work in a short-term company. He needed to find a new job. Ho Minghe would not enter a company with no future. Mr. Ho, I dare not say more. Let's cooperate for 1 year first. After 1 year, if my company cannot satisfy Mr. Ho, Mr. Ho can leave freely and we will sign a legal contract, Su Pinggan said directly, and he had seen what Ho Minghe was worried about. Okay, since Mr. Su has said so much, I would be ungrateful if I don't agree, Ho Minghe said seriously. Mr. Ho will be proud of this choice in the future. I said so, Su Pinggan said with a smile, and Ho Minghe also smiled. When can I join the company? Su Pinggan asked after taking a sip of tea. Anytime, I'm alone now, Ho Minghe said directly. Su Pinggan was stunned for a moment, and thought about it. Ho Minghe's words were obviously not that simple. However, this was someone else's family affair, and he couldn't interfere. How about this? I'll find you a house tomorrow, you can live there first, the company license will be issued in 2 days, then you can join the company, I'll find a lawyer in the next 2 days, print out the contract and we'll sign it directly, Su Pinggan said directly. I'll listen to the boss's arrangements. Ho Minghe changed his address. Su Pinggan laughed. After chatting with Ho Minghe for a while, Su Pinggan said goodbye, and the next day, he found a house for Ho Minghe, a 2-bedroom, 1 living room house, complete with furniture and appliances, which was a friend of Su Pinggan's friend's house. The person worked in the provincial capital, so this house was vacant, and Su Pinggan paid 3 months' rent directly. This is a transition. 3 months later, Ho Minghe can find a house that he is satisfied with, and then reimburse him. After all, the location of this house is not very good. On this day, Su Pinggan received the certificate of his own company, which is now a legal business, Shianki Trading Company, and began to write materials and apply for subsidies. The government has subsidies for fresh graduates to start a business, so don't miss it. Fresh university graduates starting a business is a subsidy, and fresh graduates from prestigious universities returning to their hometowns to start a business is another subsidy. Changing the name, the subsidy has changed a lot. If the application is successful, you can get 4 years of tax exemption subsidies. This is not a small effort, but a very big effort. The relevant materials have been submitted. Under the arrangement of his uncle, Su Pinggan began to frequently entertain the big guys. The rest is to wait for news. Chapter 27. Do you really think you are still the fangirl you were a few years ago? In a tea house with a very nice environment, Su Pinggan ordered a pot of tea and drank it slowly, waiting for the owner of the abandoned factory area to come over for negotiation. As long as the price was right, Su Pinggan would directly take over the renovation. Looking at the watch on his wrist, Su Pinggan continued to wait, picked up the teacup and took a sip. At this time, a beautiful woman walked past Su Pinggan and sat opposite Su Pinggan, looking at Su Pinggan. Su Pinggan turned around and saw that there were empty tables around. Beauty, I'm waiting for someone. Sorry, Su Pinggan said directly, asking the beauty to change places. Are you planning to acquire the abandoned factory area of the hardware factory? The beauty said directly, and Su Pinggan nodded. You are. Su Pinggan looked at the beauty in front of him and felt a little familiar. He must have seen her somewhere, but suddenly he couldn't remember. You have 3 minutes. If you don't recognize me, don't buy that factory area. I won't sell it. The beauty looked at Su Pinggan and said, with an unhappy expression on her face. This bastard didn't recognize her. Su Pinggan looked at the beauty and began to think. There were not many beauties that made him feel familiar, but he really couldn't remember the one in front of him. At least he had never dealt with her in the past few years. No, it's not someone he met recently. Could it be that he had known her before he went to college? His eyes began to recall. After a while, Su Pinggan was shocked, with a shocked expression on his face. You are Fan Yingying, Su Pinggan said directly. Humph, Fan Yingying said unhappily, a bastard who took away his first kiss and didn't recognize him until now. Su Pinggan touched his nose awkwardly. That, Yingying, I haven't seen you for a few years. You are so beautiful now. I didn't recognize you for a while. Forgive me, Su Pinggan said a little embarrassedly. You, the great talent Su, were admitted to a famous university. How could a mediocre girl like me enter your eyes? Fan Yingying said sarcastically. Yingying, you transferred to another school and left. I sent you an email but you didn't reply. You are a bit too much to say that to me, Su Pinggan said directly. Su Pinggan and Fan Yingying had been together for a while in high school, but Fan Yingying transferred to another school in her second year of high school. They kept in touch at first, but gradually lost contact. The last time Su Pinggan sent an email to Fan Yingying, But Fan Yingying didn't reply. Later, Su Pinggan focused on studying and completely forgot about this matter. Who would have thought that he would run into Fan Yingying now? The two of them were really destined to be together. Fan Yingying was stunned for a moment and understood. At that time, she was at her uncle's house. In order to let her concentrate on her studies, she stopped her computer. Forget it, there is no point in making money now, and she is about to leave J-City. Aren't you in Shanghai? Why are you back? Fan Yingying changed the subject. You graduated, so you came home to start a business so that you can take care of your parents, Su Pinggan said directly. It seems that you are rich now. The hardware factory occupies a large area, and it is not a small amount of money, Fan Yingying said directly. We are old classmates, so why don't you give me a preferential price, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Picking up the teapot and pouring a cup of tea for Fan Yingying. Give it to me. We are classmates after all. 6 million, right, Fan Yingying said easily. Su Pinggan almost spit out the tea in his mouth after hearing this. This price is not just high, but extremely high. Yingying, do you think the hardware factory is worth so much money? Su Pinggan asked back. Worth it, of course it is worth it. In my eyes, it is worth at least 8 million. 6 million is a preferential price for you, Fan Yingying said without changing her expression. Okay, I give up, Su Pinggan refused straightforwardly. It would cost more than 3 million to buy a piece of land of the same size from the government. You want 6 million here. You are really greedy. Fan Yingying frowned. She didn't expect Su Pinggan to give up so straightforwardly. After thinking for a while, she asked, how much do you plan to pay? Fan Yingying asked, and then picked up the teacup to drink tea. 1 million, Su Pinggan said without changing her expression. With a puff, Fan Yingying directly spurted out the tea in her mouth. Su Pinggan tried to dodge to the side, but failed to dodge. There was a wet spot on his shoulder. He looked at Fan Yingying. Even though I said I would pay you back when I landed, you can't scold me. He looked at Fan Yingying with resentment, looking unhappy. Why don't you go and rob? Fan Yingying took out a tissue from the side and wiped her mouth and said directly, staring at Su Pinggan, 1 million, how dare you say it out loud? Yingying, although the hardware factory is private, the factory area has been abandoned, and the buildings are all built decades ago. It will cost at least 1 million to rebuild it if I buy it. Also, according to the laws of our country, we only buy the right to use the land. The agreement signed between the hardware factory and the government will expire in 10 years. 1 million to buy the right to use for 10 years is already a high price. If the government does not renew the contract by then, I will have no choice but to lose money in vain, Su Pinggan said directly, not polite at all. Fan Yingying looked at Su Pinggan. Did this guy just graduate? He should be a nerd. Why is he now like an old fox, using such shameless words to negotiate with her? Does he really think that she is still the fangirl she was a few years ago? Su Pinggan, I didn't expect that you are so thick-skinned now. Are you bullying me, a newbie? The law stipulates that you can renew your contract. As long as you don't give up, you can renew it by paying a few thousand yuan in handling fees. Do you think you have a guilty conscience? Fan Yingying looked at Su Pinggan with contempt. Yingying, your place is too remote. To be honest, this is just me. No one else would buy this place, Su Pinggan said directly, changing his reason. The city will develop. Don't say you don't know this. This reason is untenable, Fan Yingying said slowly. The city will develop, but the direction of development is to the south, not to the east. Am I right? Su Pinggan said very confidently. He has heard this from the big guys many times. Let's be straightforward. 3,200,000. No bargaining, Fan Yingying said directly. If she hadn't wanted to leave, she would never have offered this price. She would have just spent some more money to change the land use from industrial to residential and make more money by developing real estate. 2 million. No more bargaining. I can pay in cash, Su Pinggan said directly. This was a small bottom line. There was not much room for negotiation. The gap is too big. It seems that we can't reach an agreement today, Fan Yingying said directly, with a calm face. Su Pinggan narrowed his eyes. It's okay, Su Pinggan said directly, and he didn't care at all. The atmosphere was a bit awkward. Fan Yingying smiled and took a sip of tea. Have you been in school these years? Where did you learn this way of negotiation? Fan Yingying asked very curiously. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, It means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 28. She's already a mother. I'm telling the truth. I work as hard as I can. Otherwise, I'll be exhausted to death, Su Pinggan said with a wry smile. The two stopped talking about business. Su Pinggan's witty remarks made Fan Yingying laugh one after another, and the awkward atmosphere just now disappeared without a trace. Yingying, why did you suddenly transfer to another school when everything was fine? Su Pinggan asked. After Fan Yingying heard this, the smile on her face disappeared. Su Pinggan was stunned. Did the question he asked make Fan Yingying sad? When I transferred to another school, it was arranged by my family. I went to a very famous school in the provincial capital to study. It was completely closed. In addition to studying, it was still studying. I was almost isolated from the outside world. After Fan Yingying finished speaking, she looked at Su Pinggan with a bit of resentment. Su Pinggan immediately lowered his head to drink tea, not looking at Fan Yingying. He had little resistance to such eyes. This was very clear. Fan Yingying didn't care about Su Pinggan's performance and directly told her own story. After listening to Fan Yingying's story, Su Pinggan was very shocked. Fan Yingying was actually a mother. Su Pinggan really didn't expect this. Fan Yingying's family is very rich. Her father, Fan Pingjiang, is a representative of the forefront of reform and opening up. His family is wealthy and made his fortune in the coal industry. After Fan Yingying was sent to the provincial capital to study, something happened at home, and the state regulated media enterprises. It just so happened that Fan Yingying's family bought a medium-sized coal mine in Shanxi a year ago. It can be said that all the family's savings were invested in it. With the overall weakness of the coal industry, it was a complete loss. At that time, the city power plant still owed the Fan family millions of dollars in payment for goods. Fan Pingjian began to collect debts and finally had to sue. I'm kidding, if you sue a state-owned enterprise personally, it's simply a rebellion, and you will immediately be targeted in various ways. Fan Pingjiang was arrested, and the sky at home completely collapsed. It is difficult for ordinary people to compete. At this time, a big boss came forward and could solve the Fan family's affairs. The only condition was to let Fan Yingying marry his youngest son. Things had come to this point and Fan Yingying had no choice but to agree to this condition. A month later, Fan Pingjiang came out. Half a month later, the Fan family reached an agreement with the power plant. The hardware factory paid off the debt to the Fan family, plus 1 million in cash, and completely settled the debt relationship between the two parties. Half a year later, Fan Yingying married the youngest son of the boss in the provincial capital, and the matter came to a successful conclusion. After this ordeal, Fan Pingjiang had a different understanding and took his wife to work hard in other places. After Fan Yingying became pregnant, her life began to change. Her husband stayed overnight outside one after another. Slowly, Fan Yingying learned that her husband had 4 confidants outside. Fan Yingying was very smart. She didn't make a fuss or toss at all. She didn't make a fuss until the child was 3 years old. She confronted her husband. The meaning was very simple. I don't blame you for having a woman outside. But you have to think about your illegitimate children outside. Let's get a divorce. I'll leave the provincial capital. You can marry any woman and give the child a name. I don't need the money or the house at home. I can just take the child away. As a result, in the end, Fan Yingying did not take the child away. The old man in the family disagreed and did not recognize the child outside. The boss personally came forward to talk to Fan Yingying. The two divorced peacefully and gave Fan Yingying 1 million as compensation. The child belonged to the man. The reason for this result is that Fan Pingjiang has turned over again and made a name for himself in Beijing. It is impossible to suppress the Fan family by the previous means. The national laws are becoming more and more perfect, and you can't do anything you want. The parents wanted to take Fan Yingying to Beijing, but Fan Yingying did not go. Instead, she lived in J City until now. Finally, the family asked Fan Yingying to go back because of her mother's poor health. Only then did they start to deal with the family's assets here. This is the sad place of the Fan family and must be completely abandoned. The house has just been dealt with. Some time ago, Fan Yingying went to the provincial capital to visit the child. The child was taken by the boss and his wife. The boss and his wife still recognized Fan Yingying, and did not let Fan Yingying's original husband bring his current wife and any children to visit them. Anyway, the couple treated Fan Yingying very well, and the two sides maintained a good relationship. After accompanying the child for more than 10 days, Fan Yingying went to visit her parents again before returning to J City. Before she had time to deal with the hardware factory, she received a call from Su Pinggan, which led to today's meeting. Fan Yingying had experienced too many things in these years and had been greatly trained. She was not fooled by Su Pinggan. "It's hard for you," Su Pinggan said with emotion, and immediately felt that his words were a bit inappropriate. Fan Yingying was fine, and smiled. After chatting for a while, the two separated. The price difference was quite large, which did not meet the wishes of both parties, so the matter was put aside, and Su Pinggan began to look for another place. Fan Yingying returned to her temporary residence, opened a bottle of red wine, poured a glass, sat on the sofa alone, drinking red wine, thinking about what happened today. It was really fate that made her meet Su Pinggan, and it was when she was about to leave J City completely. Could something happen between her and Su Pinggan? Fan Yingying shook her head. This was impossible. Although they had been together for a while, Fan Yingying knew Su Pinggan's character very well. He was quite arrogant. Once he decided on something, he would go on even if he knew it was wrong. Fan Yingying sighed deeply and went to take a shower and rest. She felt exhausted. Maybe a good sleep would make her feel better. On this day, Su Pinggan came to a place in the north to look at a house. It was introduced by a friend. It was a small steel mill that had been abandoned for many years. The area was not small. They were going to sell it. The two sides could not agree on the price. As soon as he walked out, the phone rang. Looking at the phone, Su Pinggan hesitated and hung up the phone without answering it. The call was from Fan Yingying. The reason why Su Pinggan did not answer the call was because he was actually a little moved by Fan Yingying. It was not love, but desire. At that time, Fan Yingying was the number one of their class. She was young, lively, beautiful, generous and very charming. Su Pinggan also spent a lot of effort to pursue Fan Yingying. Although he slowly forgot about Fan Yingying later, Su Pinggan knew his situation. After meeting Fan Yingying that day, Fan Yingying's charming young woman style left a deep impression on Su Pinggan. He even dreamed of Fan Yingying at night. Su Pinggan realized that he could not meet Fan Yingying again, so as to avoid any irreparable mistakes. He would rather not buy the hardware factory and find another place. He did not want to have any involvement with Fan Yingying. He really did not have extra energy to focus on this aspect. Chapter 29. Fan Yingying listened to the disconnection sound from the phone and was stunned for a moment. She was so angry that she hung up on me. She had originally thought of giving Su Pinggan a discount to thoroughly understand the hardware factory, but now he didn't answer the phone. It would be strange if she didn't get angry. However, after being angry, Fan Yingying calmed down and thought about why Su Pinggan didn't answer her phone. After thinking for a while, she stood up and looked in the mirror next to her. She laughed and was no longer angry. She turned around to apply a facial mask. Su Pinggan and Ho Minghe were having dinner outside. Ho Minghe had already learned about Su Pinggan's online store. He would never have thought that a small online store would have such a large sales volume. Moreover, Su Pinggan has now acquired a company in Iceland. Soon, new products will arrive. The factory in Iceland has begun to debug equipment and prepare for production. The product problems that restrict Su Pinggan's development have been completely solved. According to Su Pinggan's plan, Europe and China will work together and develop together. The development speed will not be slow. It can be said that Su Pinggan has a foundation for great development at this moment, which Ho Minghe never thought of. Originally thought Su Pinggan was just a small boss, who knew that Su Pinggan had quietly completed such a big foundation. The future is promising. Ho Minghe did not dare to underestimate Su Pinggan. The two were drinking. Ding ding ding, Su Pinggan's phone rang. Su Pinggan picked it up and looked at it, with a moment of hesitation on his face, and hung up directly. It was Fan Yingying who called again, 6 times, once a day, and couldn't avoid it. Boss Su, if you have something to do, Ho Minghe said, if you have something to do, just go ahead, I don't care. It's okay, Su Pinggan said. Ding 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 ding, the phone rang again. Su Pinggan looked at the phone, thought about it, or talk about the matter, this way, it's not a big deal. Hello, Su Pinggan answered the phone directly, but there was a silence on the phone. Fan Yingying now found fun, teasing Su Pinggan. Young people have little resistance to such a charming young woman like him. It's not that Fan Yingying wants to develop something with Su Pinggan, but she is just bored and teasing Su Pinggan. After all, Su Pinggan was Fan Yingying's first love. Fan Yingying was a little addicted to teasing Su Pinggan. Unexpectedly, Su Pinggan actually answered the phone today, which caught Fan Yingying off guard. "Well, I can give you a discount on the land of my hardware factory. Let's come out and talk. If we reach an agreement, we will go through the formalities tomorrow." "I'm leaving J-City," Fan Yingying said very quickly. Su Pinggan hesitated for a moment. "Okay, where should we meet?" Su Pinggan said directly. "I'm staying at the Maple Leaf Hotel. Come over, room 1506. Let's go through the formalities tomorrow after we reach an agreement," Fan Yingying said directly. "I'll be there in a while," Su Pinggan said directly. The phone was hung up. "I really haven't found any suitable place after running around these days. If I can reach an agreement with Fan Yingying, I can start the renovation and move the company in Shanghai here in advance, so that I can get on the right track in advance. Old ho, I'm leaving first. I hope I can get that land smoothly," Su Pinggan said, raising his hand to drink the beer in the glass, and Ho Minghe also drank it with him. "Go slowly on the road," Ho Minghe said. Su Pinggan nodded, left the table, rode his motorcycle and left directly. After Fan Yingying hung up the phone, she thought about it and finally sighed. It would be better to sell it cheaply to Su Pinggan than to sell it cheaply to others. In the past few days, she has also met many buyers. The price they offered is similar to Su Pinggan's, both are 2 million. The highest price is 2.2 million. It is impossible to offer more. No matter what, they are unwilling to pay. The land is worth so much. The factory buildings on it not only cannot increase the value but also reduce the price. The decades-old factory buildings must be demolished and rebuilt, which is another part of the cost. In addition, the city is developing towards the south. This area located in the eastern suburbs of the city is really difficult to increase in value. It took Su Pinggan almost 40 minutes to reach Fan Yingying. "This is a sweet." She greeted Su Pinggan and poured him a cup of tea. The two began to discuss the price. The bargaining lasted for about 20 minutes. Finally, the price was finalized and the deal was completed at 2.2 million. Fan Yingying took out a bottle of red wine from a small refrigerator and poured 2 glasses. "Pinggan, I will leave after completing the formalities tomorrow. Please drink a little with me today and talk," Fan Yingying said with a smile. "Where do you plan to settle down after leaving J-City?" Su Pinggan took the red wine and asked. "Beijing, my parents are already there. This place has left them too much sadness. They can completely forget about this place in Beijing," Fan Yingying said. "Uncle is very powerful. He can make a comeback under such circumstances. It is very inspiring. I admire him very much. Many people who have experienced such a blow will probably never recover." Su Pinggan was inspired and really admired Fan Pingjiang. "Life is forced, what can you do?" Fan Yingying said with a sigh. Raising the wine glass, Su Pinggan also raised his glass and clinked it with Fan Yingying. The two took a sip and began to chat slowly. They did not talk about sad things, but changed the topic and talked about some happy things. Su Pinggan also talked about a lot of his own things. Before they knew it, a bottle of red wine was finished by the two of them. Fan Yingying took out beer and they drank slowly. Su Pinggan also relaxed his guard. Fan Yingying was leaving and the land was sold to him. There was nothing to worry about. Fan Yingying was also a poor person. He should just talk to her. It was this thought that made Su Pinggan relax. The two talked and laughed. From time to time, Fan Yingying punched Su Pinggan. They had a lot of fun playing around. Su Pinggan drank too much. He forgot when they drank, and even more forgot the summary of the ancestors. Alcohol can make people lose their temper, and if you drink too much, you will get into trouble. Chapter 30. It won't be long before a different scene appears. Su Pinggan and Fan Yingying were drinking tea on the sofa, talking about the embarrassing things they did when they were in school. The youth time is gone forever, and both of them were full of emotion. Not long after, the two left the room together, talking and laughing and leaving the hotel. Fan Yingying took all kinds of procedures and hired a temporary lawyer. The three of them went to the relevant departments to handle the overall sale and resale procedures of the hardware factory. In about half a month, the relevant procedures will be completed. From this moment on, the hardware factory belongs to Su Pinggan. Su Pingan also directly transferred money to Fan Yingying through mobile banking. Fan Yingying also handed over the door key of the hardware factory to Su Pingan. After paying off the lawyer's fees, the two had lunch together. In the afternoon, Fan Yingying checked out directly, stopped a taxi, and negotiated the price. Before getting in the car, she turned around and hugged Su Pingan and bid him hard, then turned around and got in the car and left. Fan Yingying really left. Su Pingan watched the car leave his sight, and then he sighed and returned. After resting at home for a day, he reflected on himself and looked in the mirror. "Hey Ian, you should be more careful," Su Pingan said to himself. The next day, Su Pingan took Ho Minghe to the hardware factory. There were 4 large factories, 2 large warehouses, 2 office buildings, and 2 large yards in front and back. There were weeds everywhere, and the scene was in a mess. The place is not small, but it is too dilapidated. The houses are all dangerous buildings, and the ground has become bumpy. It costs a lot to clean it all up, Ho Minghe said, looking at the buildings in front of him. Yes, it will cost tens of thousands of dollars to clean it all up. We still have to spend some money. If we plan and build such a large place well, it will be a different scene in a short time, Su Pingan said with hope for the future on his face, looking at the weeds in front of him. After making a profit, the two left. Su Pingan asked Xingling to make a design drawing and started looking for an engineering team. Finally, under the help of his uncle Luz Haodang, Su Pingan signed a contract with a second construction company of the city, which was responsible for rebuilding the hardware factory and strictly following the drawings provided by Su Pingan. The contract stipulates that Su Pingan will not advance funds. After the project progresses by 30%, Su Pingan will ask a professional organization to inspect and accept it. If it is qualified, he will directly pay 30% of the total cost. After the project is completed and the acceptance is qualified, Su Pingan will pay the fee in one lump sum. The cost is not small. Su Pingan wanted to refuse at the time. Luz Haodang had a good talk with Su Pingan. If you want to be based in the local area in the future, you must have good relations with all local aspects. The big boss behind the second construction company will be of great help to you in the future. Don't forget that your preferential policies have not been approved yet. Choosing the second construction company will be of great benefit to you. Luz Haodang's persuasion made Su Pingan sober, and Su Pingan signed the contract. Of course, with Luz Haodang's matchmaking, Su Pingan met with the big boss behind the second construction company. And the two sides established a relationship. Su Pingan is very good at dealing with things. According to the contract, the first engineering fee will be paid after the project construction reaches 30% acceptance. After drinking a cup with the boss, he directly stated that he would pay 30% of the engineering fee first, giving the boss enough face. The meal was a great pleasure for both the host and the guests. Luz Haodang was very satisfied with Su Pingan's performance. He was good at handling things. As long as he maintained this work style, there would be no problem in gaining a foothold in the city. A day later, various engineering vehicles of the second construction company began to enter the old hardware factory and began to dismantle the original factory buildings and buildings. Su Pingan went directly to buy 2 cars. The Mercedes-Benz was launched this year. It was really inconvenient not to have a car. Ho Minghe told Su Pingan that in the Jiangsu and Zhejiang areas, as a boss, you will lose orders if you don't have a high-end car when you go out. Sometimes the car represents your economic strength and respectability. After a detailed discussion, Su Pingan went directly to the provincial capital store to pick up 2 cars, and also match them for Ho Minghe. He paid the full amount and drove back directly to the city to apply for a license plate. It was very smooth. Su Pingan's childhood friend and good buddy worked at the vehicle management office. He said hello and the procedures were completed quickly. Driving the car, Su Pingan took his parents to the hardware factory to have a look. It was a big construction site. "Pingan, you really bought this place?" Su Hong asked in shock, not believing the facts before his eyes. "Of course, it will be more beautiful after it is built," Su Pingan said directly. "Where did you get so much money?" Su Hong asked. "Dad, don't worry, my money is all legal. If there's really a problem, the country will definitely deal with me." Su Pingan said this to reassure his father. Su Hong nodded and didn't ask any more questions. "Pingan, our family has become a big family, and you have become a big boss," his mother said excitedly. "Of course, you are the mother of a big boss, and the big boss has to listen to you," Su Pingan said with a smile, and his mother laughed. "Tomorrow, I will find a place and build a villa so that you two old people can enjoy it. Our family is not short of money now, Su Pinggan said directly. Chapter 31 Products that changed the history of human heart disease. Don't spend money recklessly. You have just started your business. You should spend money wisely. Your mother and I can live in the place where we live now. We are not used to living in another place, Su Hong said directly. Yes, Pinggan, just listen to your father. Focus on your career first. It's good for us to live there, said his mother Kin Kaiksha directly. Don't worry, I know what I am doing and I won't do anything stupid, Su Pinggan said with a smile. This is the fourth time that his proposal to improve the family's accommodation conditions has been rejected. He can only wait until next year. Not only the house problem, but Su Pinggan also proposed to buy a car for his father, which was also rejected. The old couple thought that they didn't go anywhere, they just bought groceries and played cards every day, so there was no need to have a car, so they rejected Su Pinggan's suggestion. A week passed slowly, and on this day, good things came. Su Pinggan's preferential policies were approved. As an outstanding graduate from a prestigious university, he gave up the generous treatment in big cities and returned to his hometown to start a business. The municipal government granted him a preferential policy of tax exemption for 4 years. Under Lu Haodang's guidance, Su Pinggan purchased a batch of gifts, began to thank people everywhere, and established his own personal connections. He was busy for about 10 days before he finished, and he got to know many big guys. Then, another good news came. Iceland Poseidon Biomedicine Company began formal production, and the company also passed the EU Quality Systems certification. Kyle called Su Pinggan to report the good news. Kyle, have you finished the distribution of goods in Iceland? Su Pinggan asked. Boss, we have completed the full coverage of Iceland, all in cash, and have received more than 600,000 euros. In the future, it will bring us hundreds of thousands of euros of consumption every month, Kyle said directly. Okay, very good, immediately produce the 9 products I need from me, and I will start purchasing here immediately, Su Pinggan said directly. The cooperation with Ocean Trading Company has come to an end. The Novice brand has begun to land on baby.com. The 3-month protection period has passed. The two sides have not had a single call. They are all clear that the cooperation has come to an end and there will be no more cooperation. Boss, it's already in production. The new equipment is produced very quickly, and the effect is very good. According to the boss's instructions, we have specially made a batch of Chinese trademarks for the boss, Kyle said with a smile. Okay, I'm sure you can do it, Su Pinggan said directly. There's one more thing. Dr. Lek's new product has begun to be tested. If it really succeeds, boss, we will definitely develop into a world-class company. Kyle was quite excited. Su Pinggan smiled. Success, that's 100%. This is the formula produced by Zingling. Zingling's product is the best in the world. Before leaving, Su Pinggan had a separate and detailed discussion with Dr. Lek. Both parties got what they needed. The doctor got fame and a bonus from the company, and Su Pinggan got a huge profit. A new fish oil extraction formula extracted a substance called NX01, which acts on the heart and can play an unimaginable role. Fish oil has clear scientific evidence in the United States and the European Union and is included in national scientific books. It is indeed effective in lowering triglycerides in the human body. For heart disease, the conclusion given is that it seems to be effective, but it cannot be clearly determined. For hypertension, rheumatoid arthritis, weight loss, dysmenorrhea, stroke, etc., the conclusion given is that it may be effective, but it is infinitely close to being ineffective. The new formula provided by Su Pinggan has a significant effect on heart disease on the basis of lowering triglycerides. Taking 1 pill a day for more than 3 months can significantly reduce the probability of heart disease. Taking it for 5 years can improve the blood supply to your heart, and maybe your heart disease will be reduced to the point where it can be cured. This is a black technology that changes the history of human heart disease. The profit is definitely a profit that will drive you crazy. Please tell Dr. Lek that you must obtain a global patent. After the patent is obtained, human experiments will be carried out in Europe. This is our gold mine, understand, Su Pinggan said directly. Boss, don't worry, I understand. Our internal security fully monitors the laboratory. There are people 24 hours a day. I have submitted an application to the police station for a gun. There will definitely be no problem with the laboratory, Kyle said directly. The two talked for more than 10 minutes before hanging up the phone. In a few days, the goods Su Pinggan needed will be produced and shipped. Su Pinggan must start to declare import procedures. After asking Hong Minghe to keep an eye on things at home, Su Pinggan said hello to his parents and flew directly to Shanghai with their respective documents. The construction at home had not been completed yet, but Shanghai had to proceed as usual. It was already evening when they returned to Kiping community in Shanghai. Lei Peng and Feng Xia had already gotten off work. Su Pinggan had a meal at the restaurant at the entrance of the community and went back to rest. The next day, when the two came to work, they found Su Pinggan had arrived. Su Pinggan got up and washed up. Feng Xia made a pot of tea for Su Pinggan, and the three of them chatted while drinking. Sister Xia, start the promotion plan number 3 immediately and clear out the novice products, Su Pinggan said directly. Pinggan, have you found a replacement product? Feng Xia asked. They both heard from Su Pinggan that novice products could no longer be purchased. Su Pinggan had a falling out with a supplier. Of course, this time when I went abroad, I got venture capital and directly acquired a European company. They have been producing dietary supplements for decades. From now on, we don't need to worry about the products. I will go to the customs to complete the formalities in a while, and the products there will arrive soon. This is our unique brand. There are 9 varieties, all of which are EU-certified products. The effect is much better than that of novice, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Feng Xia and Lei Peng were completely shocked, looking at Su Pinggan in disbelief. In just a few months, Su Pinggan has upgraded his guns and cannons and actually has a company in Europe. This is a living miracle. Let me show you something, Su Pinggan said, and started to turn on the computer. The two came to Su Pinggan's side. Su Pinggan directly retrieved the company license and certificate issued in J City, as well as the photos of the construction site where the license and certificate were constructed. Of course, the renderings after the completion of the construction site also appeared, which was very beautiful. In the future, we will not only sell online, but also offline. Even if a Chinese company does not make money, my European company can earn money, and it is in euros. The brand value will increase step by step. My way forward is completely opened, Su Pinggan said seriously. Lei Peng and Feng Xiao were only surprised. Su Pinggan did what he said to them at the beginning. They could imagine that Su Pinggan's company would usher in rapid development. Chapter 32 How can I be worthy of them if I don't lower the price? In the past, the development of online stores was restricted due to the cost of purchasing goods and funds. Now, these are not problems at all. The two of them are very clear about Su Pinggan's online store management methods. Sales are definitely not a problem. More than 400,000 followers are not bought with money, but are actually chosen by customers themselves. The two also understand Su Pinggan's intention to let them see these, that is, it is time to choose, whether to stay in the magic city or follow Su Pinggan back to his hometown to work hard. It is time to choose one of the two. Sister Xia, Brother Peng, you don't need to tell me the answer immediately now, just tell me before the Chinese New Year. After all, the construction site is still under construction and will not be completed until after the Chinese New Year. By then, I will definitely move the company back. I came here this time, first to handle customs procedures, and second to sign a formal cooperation agreement with Changfang Logistics. The agency rights of the city where my hometown is located must be given to me, otherwise, I will immediately change to another logistics company, Su Pinggan said seriously. Thank you, Pinggan, I will have a good discussion with my husband, Feng Xia said seriously. This matter has reached the point where it must be negotiated. I'll go with you. We can make the same money no matter where we go. It doesn't matter if I'm alone. Please help me solve the household registration problem. Lei Peng made a decision directly. It's promising to work with Su Pinggan. There's no need to suffer in Shanghai. I don't have a high degree or high skills, I just have strength. I won't make so much money in another place. Su Pinggan has said so much. If I don't agree, it would be disloyal. Lei Peng is very happy. Okay, Su Pinggan said with a smile. There is a helper in warehousing and logistics. Sister Xia, start applying for promotion on dongdong.com immediately. I'll go to the customs, Su Pinggan said as he stood up. I'll do it right away, Feng Xia said as she stood up. Su Pinggan nodded, explained to the two people, and then left the community. He took the relevant information to the customs for declaration. It was the first time to handle it and I didn't know what to do. There was a service diagram at the customs. Following the instructions on the picture, Su Pingyan began to handle it one window at a time. After being busy for almost a whole day, the process was finally completed. When he came back in the evening, Lei Peng and Feng Xia had already left work. Su Pingyan was too lazy to cook, so he ate a little outside, came back, took a shower and went to bed. In the middle of the night, Su Pingyan was awakened by the ringing of the phone. He looked at the phone and found that it was Kyle who called. He answered it immediately. "Kyle, what's the matter?" Su Pingyan asked. "Boss, the original brand authorization letter and related documents have been sent by TNT International Express. Boss, please check them. They will arrive in the Magic City of China in 2 days at most," Kyle said directly. "Kyle, is that all?" Su Pingyan continued to ask. Yes, Kyle was confused. What did Su Pingyan mean by asking this? "Kyle, you have to consider the time difference. It's late at night here," Su Pingyan said unhappily. Kyle finally understood what was going on. "Sorry, boss. I will pay attention to the time difference. The goods will be shipped today. I sent 150 pieces of each item to you, which is just enough for one container. We will ship by air. You need to prepare the warehouse," Kyle added. Air transport is Su Pingyan's request. Although it will take up a lot of profit, what is needed now is time. After the novice products are cleared, they must be used up. The subsequent goods will be shipped by sea to avoid delays. "Well, I will not be free tomorrow. I will arrange it tomorrow," Su Pingyan said. After confirming that there is nothing else, he hung up the phone. The next morning, Su Pingyan got up early, turned on the computer and saw that the promotion had started. He turned off the computer directly, said hello to Feng Xia and Lei Peng, and left directly to Changfang Logistics Company. As an old customer, the business went very smoothly. He obtained the agency rights of Changfang Logistics in J-City. Starting from January 1st next year, he directly gave Su Pingyan a written authorization letter and signed an agreement. Next, Pingyan started looking for a warehouse. The first thing he considered was the one near the community. Finally, he signed a contract with a property management of the community. The time limit was only 3 months. It was a place for storing miscellaneous items. It was now empty and would be demolished next year. Su Pingyan could only use it until the end of this year. It just met Su Pingyan's needs. After finishing his work, he returned to his residence. Lei Peng was sweating all over and moving boxes. These were all today's goods. There were many orders, and they had to be packed separately. In previous years, the peak of holidays would be so busy. Seeing Su Pingyan coming back, Lei Peng spoke. "Pingyan, there are many orders today. If it's the same as today, we will be out of stock in 2 days. I want to be out of stock. They are too much of a bully. They temporarily raised the price for me by 50%. How can I be worthy of them if I don't lower the price?" Su Pingyan said, very unhappy. He had no good impression of Dayang Trading Company, especially that Xiao Xiao, who is even more fucked up. "Sister Xia, mark the remaining quantity online, and stop accepting orders directly." After accepting the orders, Su Pingyan shouted directly, and Feng Xia began to operate. "Don't worry, the company in Europe has already shipped the goods. The first batch of goods will be shipped by air and will arrive the day after tomorrow. It will take 3 to 5 days for the customs inspection to be completed, and then we will start selling directly," Su Pingyan comforted Lei Peng, who nodded and continued to pack and seal the boxes. Su Pingyan took off the outer cover and started to help. Together with Lei Peng, they worked much faster. After more than 40 minutes, they finished packing all the books. After waiting for about an hour, the Changfang Logistics car came to receive the goods and took them away. Because of the strong promotion, there were still many orders on the second day. However, with Lei Peng and Su Pingyan working together, the speed was much faster. Only on the third day did the orders begin to slowly decrease. TNT International Express Company delivered the documents, and Su Pingyan immediately took the documents to frame them. 730 centimeter long pure wooden frames were used to frame the main documents, especially the certifications of authoritative organizations, which were very clear and numbered. So you can check them separately. After returning, I started to discuss with Feng Xia about making pictures and publicity boards. When a new product was replaced, a new picture introduction was necessary. The product introduction page of dongdong.com must be used well. After the design was completed, it could be put online after dongdong.com reviewed and approved it. 1 day later, the goods had arrived at the port. Su Pingyan started to run to the customs to apply for customs inspection. He ran for 4 consecutive days before hiring 2 vehicles to pull the goods back to the warehouse in the community. It was very tiring, but also very practical. The Novice brand had been completely cleared out. There was not a single piece in the warehouse. The cartons were sold for more than 100 yuan. You can imagine how much Su Pinggan sold. He and Lei Peng used a cart to transport 50 pieces of goods to their residence. Chapter 33, When Gods Fight, Mortals Suffer. This is reality. Lei Peng immediately opened a box, took out a few bottles, picked up a bottle and looked around. Pinggan, this packaging is high-end, much better than the simple packaging of Novice, Lei Peng said with emotion. And the instructions on it are all in Chinese. We specially marked it on the web page. It is specially produced for Chinese users. It is high-end and upscale, Feng Xia said with a smile. That's right, this is what I specifically told you to do. It is to reflect this style. Our products are good. Good packaging makes the medicine good, Su Pinggan said without hesitation. Take photos immediately and upload them. I want to see the overall effect, Su Pinggan said directly. Okay, Feng Xia agreed, took a bottle and started to take pictures in the room next door. The pictures will be uploaded directly to the internet after being repaired by the computer. After a while, Su Pinggan looked at the watch. It was almost 8 o'clock. Sister Xia, where do you put it? I'll sort it out tonight. Let's go to dinner, Su Pinggan greeted, gestured to Lei Peng, and began to pack up. Okay, I've already selected the big picture. You can modify it tonight, Feng Xia said directly. This kind of work was taught to her by Su Pinggan. If Su Pinggan does it himself, it will definitely be foolproof. After packing up, the 3 locked the door and went out, heading straight to the old place. Going east from the community, they found Ma's Beef Restaurant. The beef brisket and beef noodles here are both excellent and taste very good. Old Ma, as usual, let's have some beer first, Su Pinggan shouted. He was very familiar with the owner Ma Rulong here, and basically he would go to Old Ma's restaurant when he went out to eat. I want cold beer, Lei Peng shouted, and Su Pinggan and Feng Xia both smiled. Soon, 2 cold dishes, 2 bottles of beer and a bottle of juice came up. Su Pinggan and Lei Peng clinked their glasses and drank a glass directly. Great, the 2 said involuntarily. It was very enjoyable. The 3 began to talk and laugh while drinking, eating and chatting. The meal took about an hour and a half. 8 bottles of beer were consumed, and they were very happy. Finally, they ordered 3 bowls of beef noodles. The 3 of them separated after eating. Before they parted, Su Pinggan told them that they would have a day off tomorrow, and since there was nothing to do, it would be better for them to rest at home. After finishing the product introduction, he would go back to the branch of Dongdong.com in Shanghai to handle it. After returning home, Su Pinggan went to the bathroom to take a shower, washed his face with cold water, and began to edit the pictures in front of the computer. He worked for about 3 hours before he finished. He took out the USB drive and inserted it into the computer to copy the pictures directly, then turned off the computer and went to rest. The next morning, Su Pinggan washed up and left directly, heading to the Shanghai branch of Dongdong.com. One was to review the product introduction, and the other was to discuss advertising recommendations. New products must be advertised, and website promotion is limited. If you want to promote, you must pay. There are discounts for key cooperative customers. When Su Pinggan went to Dongdong.com, it was Zhang Haoyan, a senior student in the school, who introduced him. Zhang Haoyan and Su Pinggan graduated from the same university. And he was 3 years older than Su Pinggan. When he went to the school for promotion, he established contact with Su Pinggan. Now Zhang Haoyan is a middle-level manager of Dongdong.com, and the 2 have been in contact. In Zhang Haoyan's office, Su Pinggan and Zhang Haoyan were talking while puffing smoke. Pinggan, you are really good. Novice is gone, and Poseidon came immediately, and he is the general agent. It's amazing. I admire you, brother, Zhang Haoyan said after exhaling a puff of smoke. Brother Zhang, I am lucky. If it weren't for Poseidon, I would really be finished, Su Pinggan said with emotion. Indeed, Daang Trading Company is not authentic. It cooperated with Baobao.com without saying a word. You know, we went to him to discuss cooperation, but he left us aside, Zhang Haoyan said unhappily. Oh, and this matter, fortunately Daang Trading Company didn't take a fancy to you, otherwise, I can only go to Baobao.com, Su Pinggan said with an unhappy face. Zhang Haoyan was stunned for a moment, And how he laughed. Everyone is doing business, and the matter is tacitly understood. Compared with Daeng Trading Company and Su Pinggan's weight is still a little bit less. This is a competition between two major shopping websites. It is the same everywhere. When gods fight, mortals suffer. This is reality. Pinggan, your product introduction is far better than Daeng Trading Company. In terms of introduction, product packaging, and certification, it is better than Daeng Trading Company. The only problem is the price. Increase the retail price of each bottle by 20 yuan to widen the gap between your product and Daeng Trading Company. Your price is high because your product is effective. And your certificates, I analyze that Daeng Trading Company cannot get these certificates. Also, you have to indicate that yours is an international product, while Daeng Trading Company only has local products. The two are not of the same level. Another thing is that there is a good opportunity now. Do you dare to give it a try? Zhang Haoyan said directly. Brother Zhang means, Su Pinggan was unsure of what Zhang Haoyan meant. As far as I know, in a few days, Daeng Trading Company will conduct a large-scale promotion on biopharmaceutical.com, and it has spent 400,000 yuan on publicity. Pinggan, you also know about our competition with biopharmaceutical.com. Since Daeng has done this, we must also come up with countermeasures. As long as you ensure that the promotion efforts are not less than those of Daeng Trading Company, I will apply for special preferential policies for you. biopharmaceutical.com needs 400,000 yuan of promotional resources. I will apply for 350,000 yuan for you. You should understand what the effect of the website's main promotion will be. This is a comprehensive recommendation advertisement, and I guarantee that the time will be more than 3 days longer than the other party. Now, it depends on whether you are willing to give up the 350,000 yuan. Zhang Haoyan looked at Su Pinggan meaningfully, and Su Pinggan's face was thoughtful. Zhang Haoyan did not urge Su Pinggan. This was an opportunity. It depended on whether Su Pinggan could seize it. The competition between the two major websites had reached a fever pitch. What was needed was a strong partner. Those without strength would not be able to enter the list of key cooperation customers. It was Su Pinggan's business to decide how to choose. If Zhang Haoyan wanted to be promoted, he had to show his achievements. If Su Pinggan was willing, Zhang Haoyan would also be happy to give Su Pinggan a push. A win-win situation was a win-win situation. A courageous partner was needed. I'll do it, brother Zhang. 350,000 is no problem. Su Pinggan made the decision immediately. Okay, you have courage. Listen to me. Zhang Haoyan moved forward a little. The two began to talk in a whisper. As they talked, Su Pinggan's face was completely shocked. Chapter 34. Ship it to me immediately. Really? There is such a thing? Su Pinggan said in shock. Of course, the reason why our two websites care more about Daeng Trading Company is because they are a formal company. Others have messy products and their stores are not qualified. They can't stand the inspection at all. Now Daeng Trading Company is leaning towards biopharmaceutical.com. We will release the news at the right time and give the other party a hard blow. Now, everything is ready. Your east wind has also come. You are also a formal company, operating in compliance with regulations. You have all kinds of certificates issued by the state, and your products can stand the inspection. Combining the two, you should understand. Zhang Haoyan looked at Su Pinggan meaningfully. Thank you, brother Zhang. This time, I am riding the east wind. Such a good thing. We must have a drink tonight. Phoenix Club, brother, I will arrange it. Su Pinggan patted his chest and said directly. The two looked at each other and laughed. Everything was discussed, and we started to work immediately. We made some minor changes to the introduction page of Su Pinggan's products. At the same time, we also changed the name of the store. Is it compliant? The name was changed to Daeng Trading Company, and we can promote it boldly. This is the benefit of being formal. We copied all kinds of certificates and licenses. Zhang Haoyan has a copier here, so we copied them directly and filed them in the company. Zhang Haoyan called the staff to take the materials to handle them immediately. As long as the review is correct, Zhang Haoyan can immediately submit a report to the general manager of the Magic City branch. You need to prepare enough goods. Don't be in a hurry when the time comes, Zhang Haoyan said after hanging up the phone. The call was made to the audit department, and the qualifications were reviewed immediately, expedited, and special matters were handled specially. Don't worry, brother Zhang, the goods were picked up from the customs the day before yesterday. There are 9 products, each of which is 150 boxes, and each box is 100 bottles, Su Pinggan said seriously, and Zhang Haoyan nodded. This is not a small amount of goods. The two discussed for a while, and then Su Pinggan left with their respective documents. In the evening, there were no outsiders. Su Pinggan, Zhang Haoyan, and Zhu Peng, the general manager of Dongdong.com, had dinner and went straight to the Phoenix Club. Overnight, the three spent more than 30,000 yuan. When they met up in the morning, they were all refreshed. They smiled at each other and left the Phoenix Club. Su Pinggan went home, and Zhu Peng and Zhang Haoyan went to work directly. Yesterday afternoon, Zhang Haoyan submitted an application for the preferential treatment of Shanghai Trading Company, marked it as top secret, and sent it directly to Zhu Peng's mailbox. After Zhu Peng read it and approved it, he sent it directly to the headquarters for review. 2 days later, with the approval of the headquarters, it could be implemented. The flagship store of Shanghai Trading Company officially changed the product introduction. At the same time, Dongdong.com began to launch a publicity plan. Su Pinggan also started to take action and sent short messages to all consumers who paid attention to it to inform them of the promotion time. Baby.com also started to promote Ocean Trading Company. This is a war between health products, and they are all foreign brands. It has to be said that this is a kind of sadness. There is no way. The national standards are too different from foreign standards. It is not that the people do not accept domestic products, but that domestic products are alienated from the people. Too many people have been deceived and instinctively reject domestic products. Products of the two companies appeared on various websites. The website surveyed and asked, and the willingness to buy Poseidon prevailed because Poseidon provided 7 or 8 formal inspection reports and certifications. Icelandic Government Certification Test Report, EU Certification Test Report, and China Certification Test Report, 3 heavyweight certifications have added too many advantages to Poseidon. There are photos of Poseidon's production workshop on the picture, and a statement of guarantee of authenticity has been issued. Customers are welcome to visit Poseidon Company at any time to check and verify. It is so stylish and classy. Just look at it, no fear of checking. In addition, the publicity about Iceland Pure in the Arctic clean waters, pure raw materials, high-tech biotechnology extraction, etc., all set off the high end of the product. This is the first e-commerce company that dares to advertise like this, completely crushing the product introduction of Ocean Trading Company. Ocean Trading Company brought too many varieties and could not highlight its main products, temporarily falling behind. When the event was about to start in 3 days, a news report pushed Ocean Trading Company to the forefront. One of the products, called Xiankang, was revealed to be registered in Australia by a Chinese from China and produced in Hong Kong. There was no production workshop at all, just a small workshop. This news swept over in an instant, making Ocean Trading Company anxious and overwhelmed, and other products began to be suspected. The reputation of Baobao.com for selling fakes was once again pushed to the forefront. Baobao.com and Ocean Trading Company, standing on the crest of the wave, arguing with each other, were both painful. The products of the Xiankang brand were considered to be stinking, and the reputation of Baobao.com was also greatly affected. Kyle, ship it to me immediately, send me 500 boxes of each variety, Su Pinggan shouted with a red face. I never dreamed that the purchasing staff would be so crazy. The number of pre-orders has exceeded 20,000 bottles. In other words, 90% of the goods Su Pinggan bought for the first time have been consumed, and these are all customers who have prepaid the full amount. This has not officially started yet. Once it officially starts, how many will there be? Su Pinggan is completely excited. No problem, boss, I will arrange it immediately and ship it today. Kyle was also very shocked. He didn't expect that China would have such a large sales volume. Send it by air, don't go by sea, Su Pinggan said. Now is the time to buy time. I will do it immediately, Kyle said directly. Su Pinggan walked back and forth, walked 2 circles, and then continued to make phone calls. Lei Peng and Feng Xia next to him also had a happy look on their faces. The two did not expect that the pre-sale alone would be so crazy. After the sale, as long as the product's effect is no problem, the reputation of the store will be completely opened. Brother Zhang, it's me, Pinggan, Su Pinggan said directly. What's the matter, Pinggan? I congratulate you first, the pre-sale effect is very good, Zhang Haoyan said with a smile. Su Pinggan's sales have increased greatly, and his plan has been accepted by the headquarters, and he will get a high score internally. This high score is the biggest capital for his future promotion, which can be said to be a win-win situation. Thank you, Brother Zhang. Does Brother Zhang know anyone in the customs? Su Pinggan asked directly. Why are you asking this? Zhang Haoyan was stunned. Brother Zhang, my inventory of goods has been reserved for 90%. I just contacted Iceland, and they will ship it immediately by air. According to the normal customs process, it will take about 7 days to complete the inspection. I want to ask Brother Zhang, if you know someone who knows someone, can you inspect it in advance? Su Pinggan said directly. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 35, Taking Too Big a Step. The reason why Su Pinggan asked Zhang Haoyan was because Zhang Haoyan once said that a senior student worked at the customs, and they had a good relationship. Su Pinggan just thought of it. Let me ask you, how many new goods have you transferred? Zhang Haoyan asked. 9 varieties, 500 pieces of each variety, Su Pinggan said directly, and Zhang Haoyan smiled and nodded. Wait for my call, I'll ask for you, Zhang Haoyan said directly. Sorry to bother you, Brother Zhang, Su Pinggan said politely, and the two chatted for a few words and hung up the phone. The next day, Su Pinggan went directly to the customs to register. After returning, he received a report from Feng Xiao that the order had increased by more than 6,000 copies. Su Pinggan was very excited. On the third day, the goods arrived at the customs. This time the speed was very fast. Su Pinggan called Zhang Haoyan and was relieved. The order increased by more than 7,000 copies again. On the third day, the promotion officially started. The new orders on that day reached 14,000 copies, which made Su Pinggan remember scratching his head. The warehouse was empty. Su Pinggan and Lei Peng were busy packing the goods and sending them out first. After the goods were cleared, they would be sent out immediately. The logistics company specially dispatched a special car to transport the goods. Su Pinggan's goods alone were enough to fill a whole car. After another day, the goods passed the inspection and were released. Su Pinggan hired 4 large trucks to transport the goods back. He and Lei Peng immediately started to get busy. They were busy from morning to afternoon when the logistics company vehicles came. The next day, they continued to be busy for 3 consecutive days before the climax of this time ended. The promotion was not over yet. There were still many orders every day. In the evening, Su Pinggan treated Lei Peng and Feng Xia to a big meal. Lei Peng was exhausted these days. He called Ho Minghe at home. Su Pinggan transferred a sum of money to the company account and asked Ho Minghe to settle with Iceland. One account was one account, and the accounts must be clear. He called Kyle again and continued to ship. To replenish, they collected 850 pieces of goods and sent a container by sea transportation, which saved a lot of freight. Both Su Pinggan and Kyle breathed a sigh of relief. Such a large sales volume was not expected by either of them. After a few days, the promotion ended, and there were less than 100 pieces of goods left in the warehouse. However, there were not many orders every day. After all, the price was not cheap, more than 100 per bottle, and only a few people could afford it. Su Pinggan was overjoyed, while the ocean trading company was in a gloomy mood. This time they wanted to have a good start, but Su Pinggan completely disrupted the situation, and the relationship with baobao.com also became cold. That's not all. The online direct sales were not settled, and a large number of second-tier merchants were lost. There were many people like Xiao Xinhua. A group of people stepped on the second-tier merchants hard when they succeeded, causing many large second-tier merchants to draw a clear line with the ocean trading company. It's not that Liu Haben is incompetent, but that the teammates who follow him are all pimps. Liu Haben is exhausted and unable to turn the tide. Zhao Jinming also entered the e-commerce industry and did something even more extreme. He spent 500,000 yuan on publicity. After resigning, he went abroad and directly obtained the agency rights of 3 large companies in Canada and New Zealand, snatching food from the mouth of Ocean Trading Company. You are unkind and I am unjust. Zhao Jinming worked hard in Ocean Trading Company for more than 10 years, but was finally completely kicked out. He was not even given the 3-month salary compensation stipulated by national laws. How could Zhao Jinming still talk about kindness and justice with Ocean Trading Company? Moreover, Zhao Jinming selected those brands with good sales. After a circle of calls were made, the second batch of merchants immediately picked up the goods. They had an old relationship with Zhao Jinming and trusted Zhao Jinming, directly cutting off the development of Ocean Trading Company from the root. This time, Ocean Trading Company lost more than it gained. Liu Heiben grew up completely after suffering a big loss this time. He directly kicked out Cao Xinhua and others, promoted a group of stable personnel, narrowed the front to stabilize the company, and personally visited a group of second-tier merchants. He simply admitted his mistakes and offered concessions to continue cooperation. Although there were not many orders, it was better than nothing. In addition, he began to integrate the products represented by the company, discarded all those products that were not well known and had no future, and only kept the products of regular manufacturers. He re-signed agency contracts with companies in the United States and Australia, and used many methods. More than half a month passed, and Su Ping'an invited Zhang Haoyan and Zhu Peng to have dinner together. During the meal, Zhu Peng analyzed it with Su Ping'an. Ping'an, according to the customer comments, your Poseidon is considered a high-end healthcare product brand in China. Zhao Jinming is also working hard on Baobao.com and is competing fiercely with Daeng Trading Company. The two products are too similar. In the future, the domestic imported healthcare product industry will be fought by the three of you. Although you currently have an advantage, you must not relax. Judging from the series of methods used by Zhao Jinming and Liu Heiben, they are your strong opponents. You also exposed a lot of problems in this activity, especially the delivery speed. You must make corrections. Do you understand? Zhu Peng said meaningfully. I understand. Thank you, Brother Zhu, for your advice. Su Ping'an raised his glass and clinked a glass with Zhu Peng, and drank it directly. Brother Zhu, Brother Zhang, this matter will be completely changed at the beginning of next year. My project in my hometown will be completed. At the same time, I have obtained the agency authorization of Changfang Logistics in J City. After the warehouse is completed after the new year, I will move the company back directly. Delivery vehicles and personnel will be complete, and will never delay customer delivery. I can guarantee this. Su Ping'an took a bite of the food and said slowly. Ping'an, why do you want to move the company back? It's so good in Shanghai. Everything is very convenient, Zhang Haoyan asked in confusion. Brother Zhang, tax exemption. There are tax exemption policies for college students in various places. If I want to operate in compliance, I can't avoid paying taxes. It's not easy to catch up with this preferential policy. The intensity is greater than here in Shanghai. I have no choice, Su Ping'an said with a smile. The three of them talked and laughed, and ate and drank enough. Then they paid the bill and left. Going downstairs to the lobby, Su Ping'an accidentally saw a table of people on the side, a man and a woman talking and laughing while eating. He felt an inexplicable pain in his heart. The woman was Li Tingting, and Su Ping'an also knew the man. Without stopping, he followed Zhu Peng and Zhang Haoyan and left. When they got outside, the three shook hands and separated directly. Su Ping'an did not take a taxi, but walked alone to relax. Li Tingting's face flashed in his mind. The past was over. Li Tingting had the right to pursue her own happiness. This time, Li Tingting completely walked out of Su Ping'an's heart and officially became a thing of the past. Chapter 36. She came to my house with a big belly. Time passed slowly. It was already January, and the Chinese New Year was coming next month. For dinner, Su Ping'an and Lei Peng were eating hot pot at home, while Feng Xia had asked for a week's leave because of something at home. Brother Peng, when do you plan to go back home? Su Ping'an asked, and then he raised his glass and clinked it with Lei Peng's, and drank it in one gulp. At the beginning of next month, it's easy for me to do it alone, and I can just take care of it with one suitcase, Lei Peng said and started to eat the dishes, and a sip of wine was enough, her guotao was so addictive. Did Feng Xia tell you whether she made a decision? Lei Peng asked, and then he picked up the bottle and filled both of their glasses. No, I guess Feng Xia can't move with the company. After all, her husband is here, and family comes first, Su Ping'an said directly, not caring much. Feng Xia's job doesn't require much technical skills, and she can get started quickly by finding a few young girls and teaching them for a few days. Her husband doesn't make as much as she does. He is a sales specialist, which is just a good name. The salary is not high. It is not a practical job, Lei Peng said indifferently. He heard Feng Xia talk about her husband's affairs. He was doing sales and was not at home most of the time. Brother Peng, we don't worry about Sister Xia's affairs. It doesn't mean it won't work in the future. As long as they live well, it's fine. I haven't heard Brother Peng say that you are married. Su Pinggan looked at Lei Peng and said with a smile. I am married and have a child. My wife came to Shanghai to see me some time ago. You know, the place I live is too small. I just went home the day before yesterday, Lei Peng said directly. Stabilize it next year and try to take my sister-in-law and the children over in the second half of the year to save you from living apart. I will arrange a place to live and the children to go to school for you, Su Pinggan said happily. This matter is not a big deal. Pinggan, thank you. Lei Peng was really grateful to Su Pinggan. He raised his glass and drank a glass with Su Pinggan. In the past 2 years, as long as Su Pinggan promised, he did everything. Lei Peng believed in Su Pinggan's promise. It's been a few years since I came to Shanghai. It's only in the past 3 years that I've been able to save some money. Shanghai is great, but it's not the place for a person like me who only has a bit of strength, Lei Peng said with a look of emotion. After a few years, he's seen through it. What are you talking about? Let's drink. It's fate that we can meet in this life. It shows that we have a deep fate. Su Pinggan picked up the wine and poured a glass for Lei Peng. The two of them drank it directly and started eating meat and vegetables. There are 5 days left before we can go on holiday. I'll post a notice online tonight that I won't accept orders after 5 days. The company will be on holiday, and we must have a good new year, Su Pinggan said with a smile. That's right. We must have a good time when we go home this year, Lei Peng also said with a smile. The two of them talked slowly, drank wine, and finished a bottle and a half of her guo tao before they finished. They left home together, stopped a taxi outside the community, sent Lei Peng in the car, and then Su Pinggan returned home. The progress of the project in J City is very good. A warehouse has been completed. After a few days of vacation, all the living things here will be transported away. It is time for me to go home. This year is a bumper year. Poseidon has completely opened up the Chinese market. Turning on the computer and clicking on the background of dongdong.com, Su Pinggan added the holiday information, then turned off the computer to take a shower and rest, feeling relaxed. Poseidon's sales volume completely exceeded expectations. According to Kyle's report, this year's sales volume in China has surpassed that of Iceland. Su Pinggan smiled. Iceland has a population of more than 300,000. Can it be compared with a population of more than 1 billion in China? What makes Su Pinggan most happy is that Poseidon has sent 2 batches of goods to the European Union. This is a good phenomenon. With the increase step by step, Poseidon will become more powerful. There is also Dr. Lex fish oil research. After more than 2 months, the patent for NX01 material has been approved by the Icelandic government. De Gusong has taken the relevant information to France and Europe to apply within the scope of the Paris Convention. The price of applying for patents worldwide is not low. However, in order to monopolize this business, it is worth investing. From next month, human experiments will be carried out in Icelandic hospitals, which have been approved by the Icelandic government. 3 months later, human experiments will be launched in major countries, and China is no exception. Su Pinggan will not give up such a large market. Once the experimental certification is passed, Poseidon will usher in a new outbreak and production capacity will be completely released. Now Poseidon has only opened 1 production line, and there are 4 production lines in storage. These days, Su Pinggan and Lei Peng are the only ones working. Although the promotion has been over for a long time, there are still many orders every day. Customers follow up and leave comments about the good effects of the products. There is an endless stream of people, and a stable customer base has been formed. This day, Feng Xia came to work, looking haggard, which made Su Pinggan and Lei Peng confused, and they didn't ask until lunch, when Su Pinggan couldn't help asking. It would have been better if she didn't ask. Once she asked, Feng Xia burst into tears and told what happened at home in the past few days. A woman came to Feng Xia's house with a big belly, and Feng Xia's husband Chen Xiaojun was dumbfounded on the spot. Feng Xia's husband often goes on business trips. Chen Xiaojun met this woman when he was on a business trip in Nanjing. The two fell in love as soon as they met. They have been together for more than a year, until this woman became pregnant and began to ask Chen Xiaojun for a divorce. Chen Xiaojun was reluctant to divorce Feng Xia, and this woman couldn't wait. She found out what Chen Xiaojun lived in Shanghai and came to his house with a big belly. Feng Xia collapsed at that time. After a few days of discussion, the two divorced. Chen Xiaojun left the house with nothing. After completing the formalities, Feng Xia came to work. Su Pinggan and Lei Peng looked at each other, both with helpless faces. They didn't know how to persuade such a thing. Sister Xia, what are your plans for the next step? Su Pinggan asked. Feng Xia wiped her tears. Pinggan, I will move to J City with the company. I want to leave this place that makes me sad, Feng Xia said seriously. There is nothing here for Feng Xia to linger, only hurt. Su Pinggan and Lei Peng could only comfort Feng Xia. After comforting her for a while, Feng Xia's emotions were more or less stable. Sister Xia, there's nothing to do now. You can go home and have a rest. We are worried about your condition. You can come back to work tomorrow, Su Pinggan said directly. Yes, Feng Xia, take a good rest. It's not busy at all now. It's almost time for the holiday. You should take a rest, Lei Peng also said. Thank you, Feng Xia said directly. Feng Xia didn't eat a meal. She couldn't eat anymore, so she left the restaurant and hailed a taxi to leave. Su Pinggan and Lei Peng looked at each other, both with a wry smile on their faces, and turned back to eat. Chapter 37 Each Other. The next day, Feng Xia came to work on time and was in a much better mood. Su Pinggan understood that this kind of thing can only heal the wound slowly. It was also painful for him to see Li Tingting with other people. What can he do? Time is the best medicine for healing. Su Pinggan directly ordered air tickets online for all three of them. It was considered a benefit for Lei Peng and Feng Xia. Su Pinggan's arrived a few days later than theirs. The remaining more than 100 boxes of goods were directly sent to J City through the logistics company, including some of Su Pinggan's items. 2 days later, the salaries of the two were issued. This time the salary was not small. Lei Peng's salary was more than 8,000, and Su Pinggan directly made it up to 10,000. The extra was considered a bonus. Although Feng Xia's salary was a little less than Lei Peng's, Su Pinggan also made it up to 10,000. Lei Peng had no objection. Although Feng Xia was given a little more, they had been colleagues for several years, so it didn't matter. Lei Peng also understood that this was a kind of comfort from Su Pinggan because Feng Xia was divorced. On the 10th day of the first lunar month, he went to work directly in J City and reported to work with his household registration certificate. Su Pinggan planned to transfer their household registration directly, and then start to apply for 5 insurances and 1 housing fund, so that the two would have more security in the future. It was a holiday, and neither of them needed to come to work. After resting at home for 2 days, they could fly away directly. Su Pinggan also began to clean up the items at home. He didn't plan to take the bedding, pots and pans, and so on. He would just throw them away when the time came. He purchased a batch of gifts and visited some people, including teachers at school, Zhang Haoyan and Zhu Peng from Dongdong.com, and seniors who helped with customs. He also visited Zhao Jinming. Zhao Jinming's company was also in Shanghai, and the two of them had a good chat when they met. I didn't expect your Poseidon to be so powerful that he completely suppressed me and Liu Heibin, Zhao Jinming said with a smile. Brother Zhao, you're too polite. It was my brother's advice that led me to this path. I was just lucky, Su Pinggan said with a smile, took out a cigarette and handed it to Zhao Jinming, and the two began to smoke. I heard that the ocean trading company has begun to rectify and many brands have been eliminated. Is it true? Su Pinggan asked. That's true. Liu Heibin is also a capable person. He is very determined to do things. He lacked a sense of courage in the past. Just like you and me, if he had more courage, at least I wouldn't be a troublemaker, Zhao Jinming said, shaking his head. Not only that, his vision of judging people is not good. You didn't see the arrogant look of your former follower Xiao Xiao. On the day we talked, he even hinted that I should flatter him. I really can't help but accept it, Su Pinggan said with a smile, and Zhao Jinming also smiled. This is the fundamental reason why I have never promoted him. It's a pity that he doesn't know it now, Zhao Jinming said directly. However, Pinggan, Liu Heibin has become more courageous after this battle. You have a rival, Zhao Jinming looked at Su Pinggan meaningfully. Same here, Su Pinggan said directly, looking at Zhao Jinming meaningfully. The two smiled at each other. And all kinds of meanings could only be understood. After chatting for a long time and having a meal together, Su Pinggan said goodbye. After returning to his residence, he called the landlord directly. The rent was originally due at the end of March. Now Su Pinggan checked out more than a month in advance and only needed to return the deposit. The landlord couldn't say anything. The next day, the two of them settled the bill smoothly. Su Pinggan received the 3,000 yuan deposit, handed in the key, and took a car directly to the airport. More than an hour later, Su Pinggan got off the plane. He negotiated the price with a car and chartered a car to return home. He called his parents in advance. When Su Pinggan got home in the evening, his mother had already prepared a sumptuous meal. After eating, Su Pinggan started driving around the next day, giving gifts, first to his aunt's house, and then to all the big guys he knew, as a token of his heart. These are all connections, which need to be accumulated bit by bit in daily life. During this period, the goods from Changfang Logistics also arrived, and Ho Minghe was responsible for storing the goods. Ho Minghe spent the New Year in J City this year. It didn't matter where he spent the New Year alone, and he didn't want to run back and forth. Su Pinggan was busy for almost 5 days before he finished. He had a meal with Ho Minghe and gave Ho Minghe a red envelope. Although Ho Minghe did not work hard this year, it was not Ho Minghe's fault. Moreover, Ho Minghe also recruited 2 financial staff for training, which was already very good. Days passed one by one, and finally the Spring Festival arrived. This year's Spring Festival was very lively. The family did not need to worry about money. Life was getting better. Su Pinggan drove his parents back and forth to visit relatives, which made the 2 elders very proud. It was not until the 6th day of the first lunar month that Su Pinggan began to relax a little. He went out for 2 days and rented 2 houses. Both were 2-bedroom and 1 living room layouts. He paid 3 months' rent directly. After the expiration, Lei Peng and Feng Xia would be responsible for it themselves. On the 9th day of the first lunar month, Lei Peng and Feng Xia arrived. After Su Pinggan arranged for the 2, he called Ho Minghe, and the 4 of them had a meal together. Starting tomorrow, they would go directly to the warehouse to work. There was nothing we could do about it. The office building and other buildings were not yet completed, so we had to make do with them temporarily. It was expected that they would be completely completed in May, and the decoration would take about a month. We had to make do with them in the short term. We directly picked up a van and a container truck and started recruiting people. We assigned 6 people to Lei Peng, 2 of whom had driver's licenses. 2 of them stayed in the warehouse under Lei Peng's direct command, and the remaining 4 people started to run around to contact emails. Changfeng Logistics started. We also assigned 2 young girls to Feng Xia, and slowly trained her. Various rules and regulations and processes were formed little by little. We moved forward steadily step by step according to the plan, and Su Pinggan was increasing his own foundation. After the 15th and 16th, the park started construction again. Everyone knew that this was a reflection of the company's strength. After a week of running in for the new members, a meeting was held. After 1 year, the company will buy 5 insurances and 1 housing fund for you. If you leave before 1 year, it is not the company's problem. The salary provided by the company is not high now. If you want to improve your salary, you should also ask yourself how much wealth you have created for the company. The opportunities are equal. It is up to you to choose. The company's progress will not stop for any of you. Su Pinggan looked at the new employees and said seriously, "You must do things according to the company's regulations. All procedures must be complete. Ho Minghe, if the procedures are not complete, the finance department shall not reimburse the funds." Su Pinggan looked at Ho Minghe and said directly, Chapter 38 Network lag cannot be solved. Don't worry, Mr. Su. No matter who it is, as long as it does not comply with the company's regulations and financial procedures, it will not be written off. Ho Minghe stood up and said seriously. Ho Minghe agreed with Su Pinggan's way of setting rules. It is not possible to not set rules just because the company is small. On the contrary, if the company is small, it must first set up estimates, so as to ensure the good development of the company. The work of the day must be completed on the same day, and the orders of the day must be sent to the logistics department at night. It must be fast. Lei Peng, you have to make arrangements for this. He looked at Lei Peng and said directly. Don't worry, Mr. Su, our warehousing and logistics will complete the shipment as soon as possible. Lei Peng stood up and said. Su Pinggan nodded and waved his hand to let Lei Peng sit down. Feng Xia, strengthen the customer services learning of product knowledge. If there are questions raised by customers, they must be answered clearly as soon as possible. If they are difficult to solve, record them and report them to me, explain them to the customers, and give accurate answers within 24 hours. At the same time, ensure that the orders are submitted to the warehousing department as soon as possible. The use of vehicles is under the jurisdiction of the administrative department. Feng Xia, you have to make good arrangements. Su Pinggan looked at Feng Xia and said, "Don't worry, Mr. Su, I will make sure to arrange the deployment." Feng Xia also stood up and said. Su Pinggan waved his hand to let Feng Xia sit down. "Today we will talk about it. If you have any difficulties in your work, you can raise them in person. As long as it is a reasonable request, I will approve it directly," Su Pinggan asked as he looked at everyone. Swish, an arm was raised. Su Pinggan recognized a newly hired employee, Cao Deshan, who graduated from J-City University and currently works in the logistics department. He nodded and motioned Cao Deshan to stand up and speak. Mr. Su, we have to go out every day to promote and develop customers. The transportation problem is a big problem. Every day we take the bus or take a taxi, which costs a lot. There are also phone bills. We have to contact customers every day. The phone bills are also not small. Can the company solve these two problems for us? We have just joined the company and our salary can't afford such a toss, Cao Deshan said seriously. Su Pinggan nodded. This problem is really a problem. The salary of the newly hired employees is only 800 yuan, and the rest is commission. Now that we have just started to carry out business, it really costs a lot to run around every day. Do you have your own transportation? Su Pinggan asked. I only have a bicycle. Me too, I don't have a car. I just graduated from school and I'm currently renting a house by myself. I don't have a means of transportation either. All four people stood up and reported their situations. Su Pinggan frowned and thought for a while. Do you have a driver's license, a motorcycle driver's license? Su Pinggan asked. Several people shook their heads, indicating that they didn't have one. How about this? I'll give you a transportation subsidy of 15 yuan a day and a phone subsidy of 100 yuan a month for 3 months. I hope that after 3 months, you will have your own means of transportation, preferably a motorcycle. And a motorcycle driver's license. The company will reimburse you for a certain amount of fuel. In the future, when you deliver express mail, you will need to ride a 3-wheeled motorcycle. You can't do this without a driver's license. I hope you can adjust yourself and get a formal driver's license. At that time, the company will purchase a tricycle or a small truck together, Su Pinggan said to several people. Thank you, Mr. Su, we will arrange it, Cao Deshan said calmly. Su Pinggan nodded. He was more optimistic about Cao Deshan. It depends on whether Cao Deshan can endure hardships. Are there any other questions? Su Pinggan asked, and everyone shook their heads. The meeting is adjourned. The finance department will make a record. The subsidy for logistics personnel will be implemented starting today, Su Pinggan said directly, and Ho Minghe nodded to show that he understood. Su Pinggan stood up and left a meeting room first, and the others filed out and got into the car to leave. There was no office space, and as a boss, he must maintain a certain sense of mystery. This was what Lin Yai said. It must be said that Lin Yai had a profound influence on Su Pinggan. The car drove to the vicinity of the park, parked the car, and Su Pinggan got off the car, bought a bottle of water, entered the park, found a chair to sit down, lit a cigarette, and began to think. Now the online store is on the right track, and he doesn't need to worry about it. Even if he is not there, it can run normally, and there is no debt. This is something that no one can compare to. The game company can also be put on the agenda. When is a good time to start? Su Pinggan began to think. After smoking 4 cigarettes and drinking a bottle of water, Su Pinggan left the park and got on the car to return home. He started to collect information about global talents. When the construction and decoration of the park was completed, he could start immediately without delaying things. However, he could apply for a license first. The company belonged to Shianki Foreign Trade Company, or directly grouped and became Shianki Group. It would be a waste if the tax exemption preferential policy was not utilized. It must be maximized. The matter of collecting talents was handed over to Xingling. The internet can connect the world and directly collect the buried and unknown talents with strength in the world. Only Xingling can do this. Every day, Su Pinggan went to the company to punch in and left directly. He began to visit the big guys to change the company's name, eat, drink, and take a bath. It took half a month to get it done. Time slowly came to May, and 2 happy events came together. The first one was that the Icelandic Poseidon Biomedicine Company contacted the Celestial Empire and submitted the data of 3 months of human experiments in Iceland. It obtained the approval of the Celestial Empire government to conduct human experiments in China. Once the experiment is passed, it will be approved for sale in China. Not only China, but also the European Union has started human experiments, and the United States has also started. The 3 places are carrying out at the same time. The second happy event is that the park project is considered completed. Su Pinggan invited a testing company from Shanghai to start the acceptance of the project. After a week of testing, it was completely qualified. Su Pinggan immediately settled the fees with a second construction company, which was very straightforward. He did not find a local decoration company because the technology was not good enough. He directly found a decoration company in Shanghai. According to Su Pinggan's requirements, he started the overall decoration. It was very advanced and the grade was comparable to Shanghai. This is unique in J-City. This is a real garden-style park. The ponds and streams in the park are equipped with filtration systems, various flowers and trees are planted, and the ground is paved with blue bricks. The office building uses a lot of large floor-to-ceiling glass to increase the lighting, etc. This design is very rare in the small fourth-tier cities in the mainland in 2011. When Su Pinggan was browsing the web and thinking about online games at night, he was interrupted by Protagonist, Commander. Based on the current analysis of global computer hardware and China's domestic network, it is not suitable to launch large-scale PC game projects. Game development is easy to solve, but network lag cannot be solved. Chapter 39, Doesn't your conscience hurt when you say this to me? Why can World of Warcraft do it, but I can't? Su Pinggan said very unhappily. Commander, your requirements for the game are much higher than those for World of Warcraft. Many hardware cannot meet the requirements. You must wait for various hardware upgrades to meet the requirements. It is recommended that the commander postpone it temporarily, said the Star Spirit directly. Do you have any good suggestions? Su Pinggan asked. Yes, paint, super paint, especially the exterior and bottom anti-corrosion paint of sea vessels, must be repainted every 1 to 2 years. The amount required is extremely large, and this is all profit. As for warships, the best paint currently has a warranty of only about 5 years. Once the time is up, it must be cleaned and repainted, otherwise it will affect the hull. The commander's motherland's warships are maintained once every 3 years. With our super paint, we can also break the foreign monopoly. This is a market of up to hundreds of billions of dollars a year. The factory does not need to be large, the investment is small, the technology is simple, and the profit is completely huge. It is a project that is more suitable for the commander at present, said the Star Spirit directly. Call up the relevant information, Su Pinggan said directly. Soon, the computer screen flashed, and rows of information appeared. Zingling, are you kidding me? It only takes 100 people to produce it, Su Pinggan asked in surprise. In Su Pinggan's cognition, such a high-tech company must have at least 1,000 people. Now according to the design given by Zingling, 110 people are enough, which overturned Su Pinggan's cognition. Commander, this is just a means of production. We also need to match it with an environmental protection factory to treat sewage and waste. Many equipments need to be ordered from abroad and cannot be produced domestically. After Zingling finished speaking, another piece of information appeared on the computer screen. Su Pinggan clicked it and looked at it directly. Zingling, the efficiency of the environmental protection factory is so good, can the production factory be expanded? According to your estimation, this small factory cannot meet the global demand? Su Pinggan asked. Commander, we only produce so much, and we are the only one on the planet that can produce it. All ships running on the sea around the world cannot do without our paint, especially military ships of various countries. Now military ships are expensive. Using our paint can make warships run for a few more years. They will definitely buy directly. It doesn't take much every month. It can bring more than 10 billion high-value added currency. The commander will have sufficient funds for other projects. Innately invincible Zingling explained. Su Pinggan suddenly realized, understood, Zingling is really cunning, can't refuse to accept. Protest the commander's use of derogatory words to describe a great existence like me. Zingling was directly unhappy. Your sister, cunning, I'm not for you, don't you feel guilty when you say this to me? Zingling, calm down, you and I are one, I despise you and I despise myself, I can't think of the right words for a while. These are all trivial matters, don't care, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Commander, I admire your shameless behavior. You must be able to live a comfortable life with such shamelessness. According to my information, anyone as shameless as you can often live for a long time, Xingling said directly. Su Pinggan's face darkened. He smiled and said nothing. After determining the next goal, Su Pinggan relaxed and took a shower to rest. The house at home must be changed. The small bathroom made Su Pinggan unbearable. Let's start to solve this problem tomorrow. When I got up in the morning, my mother and father were not at home. They both went for jogging. After eating the breakfast left by my mother, Su Pinggan drove out and went straight to the company. His big office had been decorated. It was quite comfortable to be alone. The sales of Poseidon health products were stable. The only growth was the logistics business, especially Cao Deshan. He ranked first in new customers for 2 consecutive months. It was worth Su Pinggan's optimism. The express parcels received from outside and Poseidon's products were transported to the provincial capital by long-distance buses. Now a separate car is sent directly to the provincial capital every day. If nothing unexpected happens, Su Pinggan will announce the order to promote Cao Deshan by the end of the month. He has already talked to Cao Deshan. If he gets good grades this month, he will be promoted legitimately. People who are promoted based on their abilities must be promoted. This is Su Pinggan's principle. After sitting down, Su Pinggan made several phone calls in a row, just one thing, asking about the house. The location is behind Su Pinggan's house. There are many small courtyards behind it. Su Pinggan wants to buy a piece of land and build a house directly. The speed is very fast. It was done in just a few days. The leaders of the urban village behind were invited to have a meal and presented a gift of a small red fish. Everything went very smoothly. A piece of land was allocated to Su Pinggan by the main road. The location is quite good. The drawings are ready. Su Pinggan immediately contacted the construction team, who are also related households. The price was calculated according to the drawings. Su Pinggan did not bargain. Anyway, it was a favor, and bargaining was meaningless. He agreed directly. The only requirement was that it must be real. Don't worry, Mr. Su. Our construction team has a well-known good reputation. Old Kong, will not ruin my reputation, said the contractor Kong Jiansh, patting his chest. Okay, Old Kong, as long as your quality is up to standard, the decoration work is still yours, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Thank you, Mr. Su, Kong Jiansh said directly with a slit in his eyes, and immediately took out a box of Hongho cigarettes and handed one to Su Pinggan. Mr. Su, you have a big decoration business, so you must take care of me, Old Kong, Kong Jiansh said with a smile. Su Pinggan took a puff of cigarette and spit it out. Old Kong, you know what the decoration looks like over there, can you really do it? Su Pinggan asked back, and Kong Jiansh curled his lips and smiled. Mr. Su, you have seen the world. The decoration over there, let alone our small J city, even the companies in the provincial capital can't do it, Kong Jiansh told the truth. When Su Pinggan was renovating, Kong Jiansh had been thinking about it. It was not until he saw the construction site that he gave up. He could not do this kind of work even if he was given it. When chatting with people, he found out that Su Pinggan hired the Magic City Decoration Company to do it. You can't help but accept it. Old Kong, it depends on your performance. If the work satisfies me, I will invite an engineer from the Magic City to guide you in the decoration, Su Pinggan said meaningfully, and Kong Jiansheng's eyes lit up. Being guided by the big designer of the Magic City, the decoration level of the engineering team will at least rise by 2 levels. At that time, will they still worry about having no business? Kong Jiansheng has completely understood Su Pinggan's meaning. Boss Su, I won't say anything. Today, Old Kong, will treat you. I will call my eldest brother. The 3 of us will not go home until we are drunk tonight. Kong Jiansheng patted his chest and acted very happy. Chapter 40 Sea Dragon and Tyche Erosion Research. Kong Jiansheng's elder brother is a deputy director of the police station, and he has great potential. This is a violent agency. It is good for Su Pinggan to have a good relationship. Otherwise, how can the business be given to Kong Jiansheng? You know, Kong Jiansheng's quotation is more than 20% higher than other companies. In addition, Kong Jiansheng is good at handling things, and the quality of the factory is guaranteed. Therefore, many people look at the face of Kong Jiansheng's elder brother Kong Jian and give the project to Kong Jiansheng to maintain this relationship. Let's do it another day. There are a lot of things recently, and you can't escape, Su Pinggan said with a smile. The two discussed for more than half an hour. Su Pinggan left Kong Jiansheng and drove back home. He told his parents about the house. He didn't even eat, and accompanied his parents to the back of the house to take a look. Pinggan, this will cost a lot of money, Su Hong asked, looking at the large place in front of him. It won't cost much. We need to build the house ourselves. The renderings are in my computer. I'll show you when I go back. Our house is too small. Change to a bigger one, so that people from home will have a place to sit, Su Pinggan said directly. Su Hong nodded. Since Su Pinggan started his business, many people came to his home. The place was too small to do anything. Su Pinggan invited people to talk directly in a restaurant outside. They had to drink a few glasses. If they could talk at home, they could drink less. Have you found the engineering team? Your cousin's husband in your hometown is doing this. It's safe to use your own people, Su Hong said directly. It's found. The work will start tomorrow. It's a relationship with the city, Su Pinggan explained to Su Hong in a low voice. Su Hong nodded. Now that Su Pinggan is doing business, it is very important to maintain relationships. He understood Su Pinggan's arrangement. By the way, Dad, you have a 3-wheeled motorcycle license. I found one for you. We will pick one up tomorrow. Mom will sit in the back, and you can take her for a ride. The speed is not fast, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Really? Is it the one you saw on TV last time? Qin Kaixia was in high spirits. Since she saw it on TV a few days ago, Qin Kaixia has been thinking about it. Yes, I went to see it. It's very good, with low fuel consumption, not fast, and safe enough, Su Pinggan explained, and Qin Kaixia looked at Su Hong, who nodded with a smile. The family returned with laughter. The mother's way of thinking was very simple, that is, to cook a delicious meal. Su Pinggan accompanied his father to drink a cup, 1 or 2 cups, never drink more, and a happy day was over. The next day, Su Pinggan drove the 2 elders to pick up the car. It was not expensive, more than 3,000 yuan. The car was picked up and the father drove, and took the mother to apply for the license plate directly. After the registration, it was driven back. It was very convenient. On this day, Su Pinggan was in his office, drinking tea and reading books, very relaxed. Ding ding ding, the phone rang. Su Pinggan picked up the phone and saw that it was Lin Yide's call, and he answered it directly. Sandizi, do you have something to ask me? Su Pinggan said with a smile. Zioanzi, are you itching? Lin Yide said very unhappy. Okay, what does your majesty want? Su Pinggan changed the address directly. Let's talk business. Are you free in a few days? The boss wants us to gather together. The venue is at my place, Lin Yide said directly. Damn, the boss's tea company has just started. Are you free? Su Pinggan was very puzzled. Marbo also started his own business last year, e-commerce, selling tea on dongdong.com, and the effect is really good. It is said that he actually made more than 100,000 yuan. The quality of tea is good and it has opened up a reputation. Now that they should be making rapid progress, how can they have the leisure to gather together? Is there something else? Su Pinggan can't figure it out. Even if you don't have time, you have to make time. Zhang Wenwen is planning to get married without saying a word. The two of them are also in love and are scheduled to get married next year. I asked Rulong and Mingayang. They can make time recently. It will be difficult to make time later. After all the calculations, everyone has time recently. Let's get together and have fun and relax. Next year, it will be Zhang Wenwen's place, Lin Yide said directly. Lin Yide was also surprised when he got the news. What is Zhang Wenwen doing? Getting married so soon? Su Pinggan was really shocked. I don't know. You can ask him when the time comes, Lin Yide said directly. What is the expected time? Have the others been notified? Su Pinggan asked directly. Next Friday, you are the last one to be notified, Lin Yide said the date. Okay, I'll be there early, Su Pinggan agreed directly. They get together once a year. This is a rule that the brothers have set together to maintain their friendship. The two chatted for a while and then hung up the phone. Su Pinggan immediately called the others. Sure enough, he was the last one to be notified. He also asked about Zhang Wenwen's marriage. Zhang Wenwen said that he would explain it uniformly at the party. Su Pinggan could only joke and hang up the phone. Su Pinggan thought about it and decided that he had to leave early and go directly to Taizhou to acquire a small research institute there, Heilong Anti-Corrosion Research Institute. If the other party is unwilling to acquire it, he will directly dig the target over. Miao Yuan, a talent collected by Xingling, is currently working in this small research institute. His position is to do odd jobs. It's really luxurious. Although he does not have a higher professional degree, he has worked as a researcher in the anti-corrosion project group of the Royal Netherlands Academy of Sciences for 3 years. The reason why he didn't have a degree certificate was because he was framed. Even ordinary staff in large laboratories have limited places. Dr. Camille, the head of the anti-corrosion project team, planned to make Miao Yuan a regular employee, but the news was leaked due to poor confidentiality. At that time, there were 2 people in the same project team, one was Miao Yuan and the other was Hedgson. If Miao Yuan was made a regular employee, Hedgson would have to leave. Hedgson, who got the news, immediately took action. He bribed a female classmate named Hannah and pretended to like Miao Yuan. On another special night, after the two had a relationship, Hannah called the police directly and sued Miao Yuan for rape. The police intervened directly. After the police ended the investigation for more than 3 months and Miao Yuan was released, Hedgson had already signed a contract with the project team. Miao Yuan's position was gone, and at the same time, Miao Yuan was deprived of all his degrees by the school. He had no choice but to return to China. Because he had work experience in a world-class anti-corrosion laboratory, he was hired by this small research institute. According to the unspoken rules of the research institute, it would take at least 6 or 7 years of hard work to have the opportunity to participate in the experimental project. If Miao Yuan was unwilling to endure and change jobs directly, no research institute in China would accept him, because the research institute industry has been monopolized. It is a big gold mine. Every year, they can cooperate with each other to defraud the country of a lot of money. It is a cash cow for certain interest groups. Chapter 41 These days, a company that doesn't engage in real estate is not a good company. Knowing this, Miao Yuan did his odd jobs honestly. Xingling searched the internet to check Miao Yuan's personal computer. The information inside, as well as some of Miao Yuan's ideas, influences, etc., all prove that Miao Yuan was a rare anti-corrosion research talent. Talents should not be let go. In the past, including Camille, there were 2 other professors who did not believe that Miao Yuan would do such a thing. Of course, Hedazin also faced the police and stated that Miao Yuan would not do this, which won the favor of the professors. What happened, whether true or false, Miao Yuan's future was doomed, and it was impossible to stay in the laboratory. Hedazin perfectly signed a contract with the laboratory, and Miao Yuan entered the institute with a professor's certificate. The professor's certificate can fully explain Miao Yuan's ability. Of course, the institute does not value Miao Yuan, which just allows Su Pinggan to pick up a loophole. This kind of low-key and talented talent is exactly what Su Pinggan needs. It's not that Su Pinggan doesn't want to play with higher technology, but he can't. The existence of the star spirit cannot be known to anyone. You, a person with nothing, suddenly come up with black technology. What does this mean? It only means one thing: you will end up being sliced. You must lay out step by step, and let the product be legally and reasonably launched step by step, so as not to be suspected. Otherwise, there are too many organizations on this planet that have the ability to slice you, and you can't defend yourself. When necessary, it is estimated that all mankind will work together to slice you, and this is your abnormal end. Not to mention the will of the universe. Once the star spirit bubbles up, what awaits you will be the thunder strikes of the will of the universe one after another. It will never stop until the star spirit is smashed. Su Pinggan must keep a low profile. He has to be low-key. After making some arrangements at home, a driver from the company drove Su Pinggan to the airport in the provincial capital. After Su Pinggan got on the plane, the driver drove back. More than an hour later, Su Pinggan got off the plane and stopped a car to go straight to the Maple Leaf Hotel that he ordered online. This hotel is not very big. The only advantage is that it is not far from the Heilong Anti-Corrosion Research Institute. After completing the formalities, Su Pinggan called the Heilong Anti-Corrosion Research Institute and communicated with Pang Qian, the actual owner of the institute, twice. Finally, Pang Qian proposed a face-to-face meeting. Otherwise, Su Pinggan would not come directly to Taizhou. After agreeing on a time to meet tomorrow, he took a shower and rested. The next day, he took a taxi and set off directly. After communicating with a guard of the institute, Pang Kiwan's secretary took Su Pinggan into the institute. The area is really not small. The garden-style unit is really not exaggerated. It is very beautiful. Director Pang, this is Mr. Su Pinggan Mr. Su, this is Mr. Pang Kiwan, the director of our institute. After the secretary took Su Pinggan into the office, he introduced the two to each other. Pang Kiwan also shook hands with Su Pinggan politely. The two sat down at the reception sofa on the side. The secretary brought 2 cups of tea to the two, left, and closed the door. Su Pinggan and Pang Kiwan exchanged polite words for a while, and then got to the point. Mr. Su is really young and promising. How could he think of acquiring my institute? Pang Kiwan asked curiously. Although Pang Kiwan intended to relocate the institute and directly develop the place into real estate, he only had the intention and did not take any actual action. Surprisingly, someone has already taken a fancy to the location of his institute. Director Pang, I am very optimistic about the future of anti-corrosion materials. Now, I have some spare money, so I plan to acquire a research institute for research. Heilong Anti-Corrosion Research Institute is very famous and has the qualifications of a first-class national research institute. That's why I came to visit you presumptuously. I hope Director Pang will not be offended, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Pang Kiwan smiled and did not blame Su Pinggan at all. How could it be? It is our honor that Mr. Su is optimistic about our institute. I don't know how Mr. Su plans to acquire it, Pang Kiwan said with a smile. I plan to acquire it as a whole and then move the institute to J City, because my company is there, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Pang Kiwan smiled more. After moving to J City, what should be done with the land here? It must be developed into real estate. Little friend, you are still young and not sophisticated enough. You need a few more years of experience to fool me. Mr. Su, the land of my institute is very valuable. Many real estate companies have come to inquire about it, Pang Kiwan said slowly. Su Pinggan narrowed his eyes. What did this mean? After thinking for a while, he understood and looked at Pang Kiwan deeply. Director Pang, we can talk openly. This is Director Pang's land. No one will eavesdrop, right? Su Pinggan said directly. Of course, my place is very safe. There is no eavesdropping. Eavesdropping only happens in movies, Pang Kiwan said with a smile. From Su Pinggan's narrowed eyes just now, it can be seen that he guessed the boy's mind. Sure enough, he came for the land. Bullshit is optimistic about the future of corrosion resistance. Do you really think I don't know your details? After contacting Su Pinggan for the first time, Pang Kiwan investigated Su Pinggan. He knew a lot about Su Pinggan's affairs in J City. It would be strange if he was running an online store and suddenly played a research institute. He must be optimistic about the development of Taizhou. In this day and age, a company that does not play real estate is not a good company. Mr. Su, to be honest, I haven't really thought about it. Many real estate companies have come to inquire, which has made my institute's people feel uneasy. You know, the salaries of the institute staff are not very high. I hope that they can get certain benefits after the development here. I said this, Mr. Su, can you understand? Although I am the owner of the institute, I can't have the final say. Democracy, the atmosphere of democracy in our institute is very strong, which is absolutely in line with the democratic ideas proposed by the country, Pang Kiwan said with a smile. Su Pinggan also laughed, and after laughing, he took out a cigarette from his pocket, handed it to Pang Kiwan, and lit it for Pang Kiwan, and lit one for himself. Puffing smoke together can instantly bring a lot of feelings closer. Director Pang, since you said so, there must be a mature plan, otherwise let me see the horizon, and we can make money together, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Okay. We can make money together, brother, you said it well. I have only one request. I will provide the land, you will provide the money, we will divide it into 60% and 40% layers. I will be 60% and you will be 40%. Pang Kiwan looked at Su Pinggan with a smile. Brother, this condition is very unfair to me, Su Pinggan said with narrowed eyes. Brother, you can also tell me your plan, Pang Kiwan said directly. First, the research institute belongs to me. Second, I pay for it and you provide the land. The profit is 60% for me and 40% for you, Su Pinggan said directly, not polite at all. Brother, if you say that, then you are not sincere, Pang Kiwan said a little unhappy. There is another plan. Sell the research institute to me. I don't want the land. You develop it yourself and I will play with a research institute. How about that? Of course, the price of the research institute cannot be too high, otherwise, I will not make any profit, Su Pinggan said directly. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 42. I guess no one would be so stupid. Su Pinggan's idea was also very shocking. Since you have a crooked idea, then I will go in a crooked way, follow your idea, and use your tricks against you. Maybe I can achieve my goal at a very low cost. After all, Heilong Anti-Corrosion Research Institute still has several valuable patents. Otherwise, Su Pinggan would not come to talk to Pang Qian, but directly poach Miao Yuan. Hearing Su Pinggan's second plan, Pang Qian hesitated for a while. Su Pinggan did not urge him. He took a sip of the teacup and waited slowly. After a long time, Pang Qian spoke. Brother, I will not easily sell the research institute. If you really like it, I will fulfill your wish. The price is 10 million, not including the land. Pang Qian opened his mouth directly. Pang Qian believed that Su Pinggan was retreating to advance. He took the research institute first, and then slowly planned the land. With a research institute in hand, there will be more than 1 million subsidies from the state and the local government every year. The total cost of the institute for the whole year is more than 300,000 yuan, plus the cost of activities. It is guaranteed that 300,000 yuan can be easily earned every year. This is the hen that lays golden eggs, and Pang Qian will not easily make a move. In the following time, they entered the bargaining stage. Neither of them wanted to give in. After arguing for a long time, they did not narrow the gap much. There would be no result today. If there is a chance, they can talk again. Pang Qian sent Su Pinggan away from the institute. After eating outside, Su Pinggan returned to the hotel. He did not go out in the afternoon. He watched videos or made phone calls in the room. In the evening, he went out to eat directly. After returning, he looked at the time and started to make calls directly. Hello, who are you looking for? A slightly hoarse voice came over. Are you Miao Yuan? Su Pinggan asked. I am. You or Miao Yuan could not figure out who the other party was. People who knew their own numbers should know themselves, but this voice did not match anyone in their memory. Hello, Mr. Miao, I am Su Pinggan. We have never met, but I know that Mr. Miao Yuan is very talented in corrosion resistance. I plan to set up a new corrosion resistance laboratory and would like to invite Mr. Miao to join, Su Pinggan said directly, getting straight to the point. Miao Yuan was stunned. Inviting me to join the research institute, is there anything wrong? Who in China would care about me as a chores in the research institute? Could it be a liar? Miao Yuan began to imagine. Mr. Miao, I live in room 506 of Maple Leaf Hotel. Mr. Miao can meet with me to talk. If it doesn't suit Mr. Miao's opinion, Mr. Miao can directly refuse, Su Pinggan added. Mr. Su, to be honest, what you said is a bit sudden, which makes me a little confused, Miao Yuan said directly. It's normal. If it were me, I would be confused at this moment. Domestic research institutes may not understand Mr. Miao's talent, but I know it very well. We have discussed the details in person. I think Mr. Miao is not willing to continue to work as a chores in the research institute. This is a complete waste of Mr. Miao's talent. Why not give each other a chance? Su Pinggan said calmly. Miao Yuan pondered. After thinking about it, he decided to meet. If he worked hard in the research institute, it would take at least 4 or 5 years. If those old guys didn't die, he would never get ahead. It was just a daydream to want himself to join the project team with research results. Okay, I'll visit Mr. Su at Maple Leaf Hotel at 10 o'clock tomorrow, Miao Yuan said directly. Okay, I'll wait for Mr. Miao to come, Su Pinggan said, and then he said a few polite words to Miao Yuan and hung up the phone. After Miao Yuan hung up the phone, he began to ponder. He didn't know the Su Pinggan. How could he know him, and where did he know him from? He had been completely depressed for the past few years. After thinking for a long time, Miao Yuan didn't want to think about it anymore, so he went to bed and talked about it when he met tomorrow. He was a poor guy and not handsome, so no one would be so stupid to set a trap for himself. The next day, Miao Yuan went to work as usual. but he asked for leave from the logistics supervisor after working for a while, saying that he felt uncomfortable in his stomach. Anyway, it was nothing, so he approved it directly. Miao Yuan walked out of the institute and hailed a taxi and left. Su Pingyan was drinking tea and reading in the room, very calm. At this time, the knock on the door sounded, and he looked at the clock hanging on the wall, and smiled. It was 9:40. He stood up and went to open the door. When he opened the door, he saw a middle-aged man standing at the door. Mr. Miao, please come in, Su Pingyan said with a smile. He had seen Miao Yuan's photo, so he recognized him even though he looked haggard now. Miao Yuan was stunned at first, then nodded and came in. Miao Yuan himself was a bit dull and a nerd. If he was a good speaker, he would not have been detained by the police for 3 months. He could have raised his own doubts to get rid of his suspicion. The two sat down, and Su Pingyan poured Miao Yuan a glass of water. Mr. Su, I really want to know how you know me. Miao Yuan went straight to the point. He knew that he was not good at talking, so it was better to get straight to the point. Mr. Miao, it's a coincidence that I know you were introduced by a friend. When I was discussing with a friend about setting up an anti-corrosion research institute, my friend directly recommended you. How did you know Miao Yuan? I also asked my friend about this. My friend said that when he went to the Netherlands for an inspection the year before last, he accidentally met 2 old men drinking coffee and talking. He mentioned your name and said it was a pity that a good researcher was buried. My friend knows one of the old men, Professor Knapp. People who can be favored by Professor Knapp must have real talents and knowledge. So when he chatted with me, he mentioned this matter. I spent time looking for it and found you, Su Pingyan said slowly. Now Su Pingyan's face has become much thicker. He doesn't blink when telling lies, and he also reveals a meaning that makes you willing to believe. Obviously, he has taken another step forward on the road of being thick-skinned. Professor Knapp, Miao Yuan said to himself, his eyes became much gentler. This is his mentor, and one of the teachers who ran back and forth after he was arrested. He has a great favor to him. Mr. Su, do you know Mr. Knapp's current situation? Miao Yuan asked after he came to his senses. I'm sorry, Mr. Knapp died in a car accident at the beginning of this year, Su Pingyan said apologetically. Miao Yuan was stunned because he would never have dreamed of such a result. He looked unbelievable. Thinking of Professor Knapp's help to him, Miao Yuan's eyes were a little moist. Chapter 43 It's the same truth. I'm sorry, Mr. Su, I made you laugh. Miao Yuan took the handkerchief handed over by Su Pingyan, wiped his tears, and sorted out his emotions. How can I make you laugh? Mr. Miao's true feelings are revealed, which shows that Mr. Miao is also a man of temperament. In today's society, lust is rampant and true feelings are becoming less and less, Su Pingyan said with emotion. Miao Yuan nodded after listening to what Su Pingyan said. Miao Yuan has experienced a lot of human warmth and coldness in the world. When he was at his best, he was in jail. When he was down and out, his friends looked at him as if he saw a ghost. Even if he was admitted to the Halong Anti-Corrosion Research Institute, it was because he had a certificate from a well-known foreign professor, proving that he had done research work in a world-class research institute. This qualification can increase the institute's annual subsidy. In addition to paying his salary, the institute must leave at least 70,000 or 80,000 yuan for this subsidy. If they really valued his talent, they would not let him do odd jobs for several years. He felt a lot more favorable towards Su Pingyan. Mr. Su, I have a bad record. Don't you worry that it will have a bad impact on you? Miao Yuan asked. He was deprived of his academic qualifications by the university in the Netherlands, which can be regarded as a stain in his life. Su Pingyan smiled after hearing this and looked at Miao Yuan seriously. He was good at scientific research, but lacked spirituality in the ways of the world. He had not seen through such a simple trap until now. Mr. Miao, can't you see why you were arrested by the police? Su Pingyan looked at Miao Yuan meaningfully and said. Miao Yuan was stunned and looked at Su Pingyan in confusion. Wasn't he arrested because Hannah said she raped him? Hannah herself explained that it was the first time. She was very nervous and scared, and she did something wrong unconsciously. She had apologized to herself. Could there be something else here? Please explain it clearly, Mr. Su, Miao Yuan said with a serious face. Miao Yuan was fully committed to scientific research and didn't care much about other things. He was not a fool. A fool could not achieve Miao Yuan's results. Su Pingyan's words were obviously implicit, as if his arrest was not such a simple matter. Su Pinggan explained his analysis to Miao Yang in full. Miao Yang stood up with red eyes. Miao Yang was not stupid. He could analyze whether Su Pinggan's inference was true or false. Soon, his face was full of annoyance. He was really an idiot. He was framed, but he was grateful to the person who framed him. How stupid he was to be played by others. Miao Yang felt like killing someone. Hedgson accompanied the three professors to the police station to vouch for Miao Yang. He said that he was Miao Yang's classmate and vouched for Miao Yang with his own personality. Miao Yang was not the kind of person who would commit a crime. There must be a misunderstanding. Miao Yang was really grateful at that time. Looking back now, Miao Yang felt like vomiting blood. Su Pinggan took out a cigarette and handed it to Miao Yang, and lit it for Miao Yang, asking Miao Yang to calm down. He also lit one and smoked it slowly. After smoking a cigarette, Miao Yang also slowly calmed down. Su Pinggan made a gesture of drinking water and did not speak. Miao Yang drank all the water in the cup in one breath, and his breathing began to return to normal. Su Pinggan refilled both cups with water. Mr. Su, thank you for untying the knot in my heart for many years. I don't know what the research institute you mentioned is about. Miao Yang went straight to the point and began to ask. The research institute is, Su Pinggan told his plan again. Are you really willing to give me the right to be in charge of the project and provide sufficient funds? Miao Yang stared at Su Pinggan without blinking. Of course, I can guarantee this. Su Pinggan also looked at Miao Yang and said. Okay, I did it. I accept Mr. Su's invitation. However, I hope Mr. Su can set up the research institute near the sea. This will be much more convenient. Many experiments cannot be separated from experiments at sea, Miao Yang said very straightforwardly, without mentioning the issue of his own treatment. Su Pinggan hesitated for a moment, thinking about whether to confront Miao Yang. What he lacked most now was time. He had to quickly accumulate experimental data to launch the product. If Miao Yang did not cooperate, he would have to kill him. Miao Yang was also looking at Su Pinggan at this moment. He didn't understand why Su Pinggan was thinking. Was there anything wrong with the conditions he proposed? How could he conduct experiments and collect relevant data on the anti-corrosion paint on the outer body of a sea vessel if he was not close to the sea? How could he make a breakthrough without data? This was a very normal proposal. Why did Su Pinggan seem so hesitant? Miao, I'll show you some information. You must keep it confidential. Su Pinggan looked at Miao Yang seriously, and Miao Yang nodded. Su Pinggan stood up, took out a folder from the suitcase beside him, and handed it directly to Miao Yang. He made a gesture of flipping through it, and Miao Yang opened it and flipped through it. Slowly, the expression on Miao Yang's face changed and became serious. Soon, his breathing began to quicken. Ordinary people might not be able to see the value of this information, but Miao Yang could see that this information was definitely the best in the world. After closing the information, Miao Yang deduced it in his mind and found that the information he said could not be overturned. He only needed to verify a few key data to fully prove the feasibility of this information. Su, I'm sure that there is no such technology in the world at present. As the information says, once the outer body of a ship adopts this super anti-corrosion paint, the lifespan can be increased by at least 5 years. There is a profit as big as the ocean in it. Since there is such a document, Mr. Su can directly produce it. There is no need to set up a research institute. Can I know the source of this document? Miao Yang looked at Su Pinggan seriously. Miao, I can't tell you the source of the document, but I can guarantee that this document will not be available in any laboratory or research institute in the world. Any invention is inseparable from the foundation. Without the first layer, how can there be a second layer? And you, Miao Yang, are the first layer of this super paint born to the market. I will build a research institute in a coastal city, purchase the most advanced equipment in the world, and provide sufficient funds. Miao, what you have to do is to make this product come out reasonably and legally. I think you understand what I mean, Su Pinggan said calmly while looking at Miao Yang. Miao Yang understood the meaning of Su Pinggan's words and thought for a while. Su, you can find those respected people. Why did you find me? Miao Yang asked seriously. It's very simple. You have the foundation. Compared with those people, you are more reliable than them. I believe you should have an anti-corrosion research project. Why don't you hand it over to the Heilong Anti-Corrosion Research Institute? It's the same reason. Su Pinggan looked at Miao Yang and said. Chapter 44. We both benefit from cooperation. Miao Yuan understood Su Ping'an's meaning very well. His starting point was the same as his. Those people were not worthy of having their own projects. They were a group of people who formed cliques and sought fame and reputation. They were not trustworthy. At present, high-end anti-corrosion paints in the world are basically monopolized by a few companies. What is sold in China are all civilian products. Even if they are produced in our country, the technology has not been leaked at all. The leaked ones are all second-level technologies. I just want them to know that the people of the Celestial Empire cannot be insulted. We can also play with high-end products. I just want to break their monopoly, Su Ping'an said with a serious face. Mr. Miao, this project can make you famous and let me make a profit. It can also achieve our goal of breaking the foreign monopoly. The anti-corrosion industry is very large, and many industries need high-quality anti-corrosion products. With the information, we don't need to set up a research institute in a coastal city at all. We only need to conduct a few tests in the coastal area. You can completely conduct anti-corrosion research in other industries. We can both benefit from cooperation, Su Ping'an added slowly. Miao Yuan thought seriously for a while. Su Ping'an had this kind of product. Once the patent technology was approved, funding would not be a problem, and he could also gain a huge reputation. At the same time, he could also conduct the research of the project he had long admired. It was a win-win situation. It was true. Okay, I accept Mr. Su's invitation, Miao Yuan agreed directly. The fundamental reason was that Miao Yuan did not want to live like this anymore. His most precious time could not be wasted on miscellaneous things. Su Ping'an discussed a lot of things with Miao Yuan for more than an hour. Then he sent Miao Yuan away and gave Miao Yuan 5,000 yuan and a number, asking Miao Yuan to deal with the things here as soon as possible and go directly to J City to find Ho Minghe to report. At the same time, he asked Miao Yuan to submit a laboratory equipment and material procurement catalog within 2 days and send it to Su Ping'an's mailbox so that Su Ping'an could purchase it in advance and not delay its use. Su Ping'an was relieved when the matter was settled. The next thing he needed to deal with was the lawyer. For formal operation, this aspect must be needed. Take it one step at a time. Take it slowly. There will always be a time to solve it. Su Ping'an contacted Mabo and agreed to go to Ziyi for a gathering. You are actually in Taizhou, what are you doing there? Mabo asked in confusion. I came here to inspect a research institute. I want to acquire it, but they won't sell it to me, Su Ping'an said directly. Nonsense, how much money can a research institute make in a year? This is a hen that keeps laying golden eggs. It would be stupid to sell it to you, Mabo said very impolitely, obviously knowing the research institute industry very well. Tell me the truth, what are you doing in Taizhou? If you don't tell me now, I will find out in the future, and you know the consequences, Mabo said very impolitely. I really came to acquire the research institute. Let's meet and talk about the details. I will tell you everything I know, Su Ping'an said with a smile. Okay, you wait for me there, I'll drive over and call you when I get there, Mabo said directly. That's great, I'll wait for the boss call. Su Ping'an welcomed Mabo's decision very much. It's so good to drive. If it weren't for the long journey, he would drive out himself. The two chatted for a while, and then the phone was hung up. Su Ping'an felt relieved. According to Mabo's arrangement, he would not be able to come over for at least 2 days. He could earn some money during these 2 days. It was not easy to come here. Miao Yuan was very quick-tracked. He resigned the next day. The reason was simple. He could not stand it anymore. He wanted to drive a taxi and earn more than he did now. This sentence made Director Pang's face tremble. After persuading for a while, he let him go. If he wanted to keep Miao Yuan, he would need to increase his salary. Once Miao Yuan's salary was increased, the salaries of others must also be adjusted. This was not a small amount. Moreover, the increase was too small, and Miao Yuan did not agree. Instead of being deadlocked and causing something uncontrollable, it was better to let Miao Yuan leave directly. Leave a line today, and I hope to see you again in the future. The procedures for Miao Yuan were handled smoothly and completed on the same day. Miao Yuan began to deal with the items at home, leaving only a large suitcase, and sold the rest to the junk collector. He called the landlord and checked out tomorrow. He did not want the rent for half a month, and only gave himself a deposit. After 3 busy days, Miao Yuan set off with his big suitcase and headed for J City. He had already contacted Ho Minghe, and there would be a car to pick him up in J City. Miao Yuan felt relieved. Su Pingyan was driving the car, and Mabo was sitting next to him, with his legs crossed and a comfortable look on his face. Pingyan, it's really more comfortable to ride in a car than to drive. This feeling is just refreshing, Mabo said with a smile, and Su Pingyan looked helpless. After Mabo drove to Taizhou and met up with Su Pingyan, he stopped driving and let Su Pingyan drive directly. He also bought a lot of snacks and drinks. Mabo drank beer and Su Pingyan drank juice, in the name of not drinking and driving. This reason was too strong. Su Pingyan could only drink his juice and drive obediently, and was fooled by Mabo. He spit out the smoke in his mouth. So, you really plan to set up a research institute next? Mabo said with a thoughtful expression. Yes, it's better to have the technology in your own hands, and use it however you want. The investment I chose is not very large, so take your time. Once there is a breakthrough, my spring will come, Su Pingyan said calmly. Pingyan, real scientific research is very expensive. Although you have some money now, you can't afford this kind of trouble, Mabo said with a frown, not very optimistic about Su Pingyan's project. Mabo's eldest cousin is engaged in scientific research. She works in a formal scientific research unit. She does experiments and records various data every day. She is very busy. The expenses of scientific research units are really high, and the consumption of various raw materials is really not small. If you don't have money, you really can't do scientific research. Boss, my scientific research institution is different from others. Mine is just a few people, focusing on one project. I don't play that big one. I can't afford it now. How much strength do how big things? The institute can temporarily apply for provincial level. And it will cost a sum of money to purchase equipment in the early stage. The research cost of a single project is not large, and about 300,000 yuan a year is enough, Su Pingyan said directly. 300,000, how much can your small online store earn in a year? By the way, I have never asked you what the profit margin of the Poseidon product is. Can you tell me now? Mabo looked at Su Pingyan with interest. He was really curious about Su Pingyan's profit margin. Chapter 45. I'll be really unhappy if I don't beat you up. This, can I not tell you? Su Pingyan really didn't want to reveal his profit margin. This number was too hateful. No, I have to tell you, Mabo said quite straightforwardly. 101%, Su Pingyan said. Mabo was stunned, and then he felt unhappy. Damn, your profit margin is so high. I worked so hard, but the profit margin is only 30%. This result has already made my parents look at me with admiration. Do you know what I want to do now? Mabo said with gritted teeth. Boss, I'm driving. If there's anything, we will suffer. You have to think clearly, Su Pingyan said immediately. After a few years, I know Mabo very well. Mabo's tone of voice has already shown that Mabo is very angry and is on the verge of collapse. Stop the car in front, Mabo said directly, and Su Pingyan's forehead was sweating. Boss, don't. When we get to the place, I will accept the punishment, okay, Su Pingyan said with a bitter face. Humph, Mabo said unhappily, and didn't say anything. Mabo's heart was bleeding. Damn, 110% profit, no wonder you dare to set up a research institute. The resentment in his heart was constantly accumulating. If he didn't give Su Pingyan a good beating, this matter would not be a joke. The awkward atmosphere lasted for more than half an hour before it was relieved. However, Su Pingyan was even more worried. This was not Mabo's style of doing things. A person who was always in a hurry suddenly became silent. This was so abnormal that he must be brewing a bigger storm. Forget it, let's talk about it when we get there. In 3.5 hours, the two arrived in Yiwu. The hotel is their own hotel. This hotel originally belonged to the electrical appliance factory acquired by the Lin family. The electrical appliance factory was not doing well, so they sold the hotel first. The electrical appliance factory held on for 2 more years, and finally they couldn't operate it anymore, so they sold it directly. Originally, there were only 3 old 4-story buildings. The Lin family directly demolished the entire hotel and rebuilt it into a modern garden-style hotel, Xiangain Hotel, which was completed only last year. This is a platform for the Lin family to make friends. When clients and friends came, they were all arranged to stay at the hotel. Of course, the hotel was open to the public. After all, a hotel has a lot of expenses every year. With normal business, it can make up for some of it. Of course, whoever arranges the client pays the bill. The accounts must be clear. The price is only a little higher than the cost price. It is much more cost-effective than living outside. When Su Pinggan and his friends came, Lin Yide also arranged them here. After parking the car, the two of them walked to the lobby with their boxes and saw Lin Yide. The three of them shook hands and were led upstairs by Lin Yide. Each of them had a room and did not interfere with each other. Pinggan, wait a minute. I'll bring some tea. You can take it directly, Mabo said and went directly into the room. Su Pinggan did not doubt him and went into Mabo's room with Lin Yide. You bastard, you pissed me off, Mabo roared and rushed directly to Su Pinggan. He threw Su Pinggan directly on the bed and began to ravage Su Pinggan. Lin Yide, who was next to him, was dumbfounded. After more than 10 seconds, Mabo stood up and sat down aside. Su Pinggan lay on the bed with wet eyes. His hair was messy, his shirt was torn by Mabo. And there were 2 handprints of Mabo on his chest, with a miserable expression. Lin Yide watched from the side, holding back his laughter. It was obvious that Su Pinggan had done something to make Mabo jealous. Boss, do you really have to do this to me? Su Pinggan had a miserable expression on his face. As for that, you talk to Sandeezy. If Sandeezy doesn't ravage you, I lose, Mabo said in an unhappy tone. Su Pinggan opened his mouth but couldn't say anything. Are you kidding? I'm stupid to say that. What is it that can make Boss Ma so unhappy? I'm really interested, Lin Yide said directly. Nothing, Su Pinggan changed the subject directly. Huh, Lao Lin, do you know what the profit margin of the products sold by this kid is? Mabo said directly. I really don't know that, Zioanzi. I went around visiting relatives and friends during the Chinese New Year, but I saw your Poseidon products in many people's homes. The sales volume is not small, Lin Yide said as he looked at Su Pinggan. Su Pinggan closed his eyes and kept silent. Needless to say, Lin Yide would definitely rip him off soon. Lin Yide looked at Mabo, who smiled slightly. He felt better if he could share his pain with more people, so he said directly, this kid's profit margin is 110%. Lin Yide, who was standing next to him, was stunned. His eyes flickered as he looked at Su Pinggan. It was so high. Judging from Su Pinggan's sales, this kid must have made a lot of money last year. I'd be upset if I didn't beat you up. Do you know how much we make from selling one appliance? We all laughed at the 30% gross profit, but you're making 100%. Lin Yide looked at Su Pinggan and said directly. Tell me how to solve this problem yourself. Lin Yide leaned back and looked at Su Pinggan, who was lying on the bed with his arms and legs spread out. We are in different industries. In a year, you will definitely make more than me, Su Pinggan said as he sat up. At the same time, he took out his cigarettes and handed one to Mabo and Lin Yide respectively, and then lit one for the two of them. How could I not know? I only made 170,000 last year. Can you make up the difference? Mabo said unhappily. Boss, you just started your business. I only made more than 40,000 in my first year. You know that, Su Pinggan said stubbornly. You are getting more and more shameless, Mabo pointed at Su Pinggan and said. Lin Yide nodded and acknowledged Mabo's point of view. Tell me the truth. How about I also enter the healthcare product industry? Mabo looked at Su Pinggan and said, then nodded and shook his head after thinking for a while. Boss, it's not possible to be an agent for foreign brands, because now all slightly larger foreign brands have agents in China. If you produce them in China, first of all, you have to keep the price low. If the price is high, consumers will choose foreign brands. If domestic healthcare product companies want to have great development, they can only follow the path of brain platinum and advertise crazily. This is a life and death gamble. If you find a way out, you can make a fortune. Once you fail, you will definitely lose everything. If you don't have strong funds, don't play this way, Su Pinggan said directly. Then why do the elderly in my family and some of my friends' families like to buy foreign brands? Even if they buy brain platinum, they only give it to others, and don't eat it themselves. Why is that? Lin Yide was really curious about this question. Chapter 46. It's so eye-catching. Product standards are different. Foreign countries have very strict standards and supervision for this type of product. Once you find a problem, you will be fined a huge amount. As for the situation in China, you all know it. Rational people will know what to choose after comparing it, Su Pinggan said seriously. Lin Yide nodded after listening. He messed up himself and couldn't blame others. Why can't I sell foreign brands? Mabo asked seriously. With a profit margin of 110%, Mabo really wanted to get involved. Boss, there are basically 3 companies representing foreign brands in the market at present: Ocean Trading Company, me, and Zhao Jingming, the former deputy general manager of Ocean Trading Company. After the battle last year, the 3 of us have basically formed a 3-way structure. The reason for the 3-way structure is that the 3 of us are operating in compliance with regulations, with complete legal procedures, and can withstand various inspections of yours. The goods are genuine and the prices are fair. Therefore, once dongdong.com and baobao.com have this kind of publicity, they can only choose the 3 of us. Once you choose other companies, you will probably be reported, and then it will be a huge trouble. Moreover, other stores don't ask for recommendations from the website. They know that they can't withstand the inspection. Once they operate in compliance with regulations, they are reluctant to pay taxes and can only watch us accept publicity. Ocean Trading Company used to be the largest agency company in the country, representing nearly 100 varieties. After suffering a loss in the battle last year, it eliminated 60% of its products and became more formal. It is a large company with a strong strength. Zhao Jinming and I can't compare with it. I only operate the Poseidon brand. The packaging and effects of Poseidon products are more down to earth than the products they represent, and they are in line with the hearts of our people. Therefore, I am temporarily ahead, but this is only temporary. The 2 companies are also seeking change. Even if we compete for the market, it is our own business. If there is one more company, the 3 companies will definitely join forces to suppress it. At that time, all kinds of means will be used together. Boss, you have to think carefully. Once you enter, it will be a direct war. Su Pinggan looked at Mabo and said directly. Mabo and Lin Yide were silent. Both of them had experienced what Su Pinggan said. That industry is not like this. You have just joined this industry and must show your ability. In the competition for the market, one must fall down when one comes up, which is very cruel. Okay, looking at your little eyes, I won't go there. I'd better sell tea honestly. Mabo gave up. It's the same in every industry. It's not that simple for you to make a splash. You must experience suppression from all sides. Lin Yide sighed. The electrical appliance factory at home also inevitably experienced several times. Although it was resolved, it also cost a lot of money and energy. I think there is a situation where you can crush your peers with force, Su Pinggan said while looking at the 2 of them. The 2 of them were stunned and motioned Su Pinggan to continue. Master the core technology. Only by mastering the core technology can you be invincible. Old Lin, you are in the electrical appliance business. Once the electrical appliances you produce are patented, how dare other manufacturers suppress you? Don't they want to be authorized? Su Pinggan looked at Lin Yide meaningfully. Little Anzi has grown up, Lin Yide said with a smile, and Mabo also smiled. It can be seen that Su Pinggan has really grown up a lot. Enough. If you say Zhao Anzi again, I will turn against you, Su Pinggan said directly. You just said to turn against me. Lin Yide stood up directly, looking at Su Pinggan with a bad look, and glanced at Mabo at the same time. Mabo's eyes lit up, and he had understood what Lin Yide meant, and he stood up as well. Okay, you dare to tell us that you are going to turn against us? Tell us, how are you going to turn against us? Mabo said in a weird tone. Su Pinggan saw this scene and knew that it was bad. I was wrong, 2 big brothers, I was wrong, I was wrong. I will treat you 2 big brothers to a drink later, Su Pinggan said immediately. It's too late, Lin Yide said and rushed over. Mabo next to him was not slow either. The 2 of them started to torment Su Pinggan together. Help, Su Pinggan began to shout loudly, but it was no use. He was beaten by Mabo and Lin Yide together, which was considered to vent his depression. The profit margin of 110% was too enviable. After a while, the 3 of them talked for a while, and Lin Yide and Su Pinggan left. They sent Su Pinggan to his room to rest for a while, and had dinner together in the evening. Su Pinggan took a bath and went to bed directly. When it was getting dark, Lin Yide woke up Mabo first, and then called Su Pinggan in Mabo's room to wake him up. The 3 of them went downstairs to eat together in a hotel restaurant. The food here was very good. This was what Lin Yide said. 3 people had 6 dishes, 4 meat dishes, 2 vegetables, and a golden mushroom soup. They didn't drink much. Each of the 3 people had a bottle of beer. After they were full, Lin Yide left. Lin Yide didn't need to accompany him tomorrow. The others would return the day after tomorrow. They could meet up then. After the 3 separated, Lin Yide went home directly. It was a villa where Lin Yide and his parents usually lived. The eldest and second brothers had already moved out. When Lin Yide returned home today, he found that his father and the eldest and second brothers were all there. "Have you eaten?" Lin Yide's father Lin Changgong asked. "I have eaten. I had dinner with 2 friends. They just came here today," Lin Yide said and sat down. He greeted his eldest brother Lin Yimin and second brother Lin Yishan. "Yide, what do your 2 friends do? I found that you care about them more," Lin Changgong asked. No one knows his son better than his father. Lin Yide is proud. Although he smiles at everyone, many people are not taken seriously by Lin Yide. It is unusual that he cares so much about his 2 friends now. "They are my roommates. We have been together for several years. Among the 6 of us, 4 are in business and 2 are in politics. They are all very nice." You have met Mabo. He didn't go to his family's business. He started his own business last year. His family supported him with 1 million yuan. After half a year of hard work, he made a net profit of more than 100,000 yuan. Su Pinggan, my roommate, I told you about him. He started his business since college. He spent 4 years in college and earned his tuition and living expenses for the last 3 years. Last year, he went to Europe alone and got the agency rights for a European brand. It's the one you eat, the Poseidon brand. He is the general agent. In addition, he bought an abandoned factory in their hometown, J City, and rebuilt it into his own company. It's doing very well. The 2 who came here today will be here the day after tomorrow, Lin Yide explained to his father in detail. Chapter 47 Tea Tycoon Plan. Old third, your 2 classmates are very good. They can be called elites, especially Su Pinggan, who has no foundation to be able to toss to this extent, which is very rare. There are 3 more. What do they do? Lin Yimin said with emotion. His younger brother's 2 classmates are worthy of recognition. Li Rulong and Su Minggyang have passed the civil service examination and plan to pursue a career in politics. Zhang Wenitun is engaged in the tourism industry and joined the family company. So far this year, he has opened up LS tourism routes for the family company and has made his own achievements, which is very good, Lin Yide explained to his eldest brother. Lin Changgong was very satisfied. His son's roommates were really good. It can be said that they were all capable people. After Lin Yide's work in the family electrical appliance factory for a year, everyone recognized Lin Yide's ability. In the future, the younger brothers will support each other, and the future is promising. As a parent, Lin Changgong has already put all the family industries on the right track and does not need to worry too much. At present, the most concerned thing is the 3 children. Now Lin Yide has also reassured Lin Changgong. While Lin Yide's family was discussing, Su Pinggan and Mabo were also discussing business in Mabo's room, the Tea Tycoon Plan. According to Mabo, the Tea Tycoon Plan can be carried out with some minor adjustments. Boss, although we have inferred a lot about the Tea Tycoon Plan, it requires a lot of financial support. With the current funds in your hands, it is probably difficult to start this plan, Su Pinggan said with a frown. I know that the first step of the plan is to establish a sales channel that radiates the whole country. Now with the sales platform of Dongdong.com, it can be said that it is already facing the whole country. Although the sales volume is not large now, it takes time and needs to slowly accumulate customer reputation. As far as I know, several tea companies have begun to lay out industrial bases and have begun to grab land. If I don't carry out industrial layout now, it will probably be too late in 2 years. By that time, if I want to complete the industrial layout, the cost will probably increase exponentially, Mabo said with a serious face. How do you plan to solve the funding problem and how do you solve the manpower problem? Su Pinggan asked. I plan to have a good talk with my dad about the issue of funds, hoping that he can support me with 20 million yuan of funds. I can completely solve it by borrowing tens of millions of yuan. As for manpower, we can transfer some from the family's enterprises and recruit some, and it can also be solved, Mabo said directly. Boss, your manpower is not a problem, but the funds are not. Yunnan Poor, Fujian Tiguanayan, Fujian Muaishan Rock Tea, Sichuan Quesh, Henan Maojian, Zhejiang Longjing, Jiangsu Baluichan, etc., more than a dozen places, tens of millions of funds are not enough. I am afraid that even 100 million is not enough, Su Pinggan said directly. I know, but the situation has reached this point now. What do you want me to do? Not to mention other places. In my hometown, several tea families have already started to grab land, and other places will definitely not sit idly by. Once the place of origin is grabbed, I will be passive. In a few years, there will definitely be a market reshuffle. And all those who do not have their own planting bases will withdraw from the first-tier groups. The tea tycoon plan was formulated by our collective wisdom, and I don't want to fail like this, Mabo said seriously. I don't want to either. We spent 4 months traveling around the tea-producing areas across the country to conduct field research and analysis. We discussed for 2 days before we formulated this plan. Although this plan is implemented by you, the boss, it also includes the hard work of all of us. If it really fails, at least I can't accept it, Su Pinggan said as he exhaled a puff of smoke. Yes, I was thinking that we brothers would invest in and create a company together, realize the tea tycoon plan together, and reach the peak of life together. Who knew that things would change so fast? E-commerce makes you successful, and e-commerce makes you fail, Mabo said with emotion. Su Pinggan carefully calculated the money in his hand. 500 million Hong Kong dollars converted into euros is only more than 40 million, and he spent more than 10 million euros in Iceland. After returning, he spent more than 2 million euros intermittently, and various patent applications in Iceland cost more than 4 million euros. The next step is to purchase experimental equipment by himself, which will cost at least 10 million euros. In addition, the promotion of Iceland's Poseidon superfish oil will be launched, and the money on hand may not be enough. However, the boss's tea tycoon plan really can't wait. Su Pinggan started to think. Boss, do it. There is always a chance to gamble in life. I support you. I can't help you now, but I promise that by the end of the year, I will provide you with a fund of no less than 50 million yuan, Su Pinggan said seriously. Mabo was stunned and looked at Su Pinggan in disbelief. 50 million? This is not 5 yuan. Where can you get so much money? Just relying on your small online store? Mabo doesn't believe that this small online store can make so much money. I'm very happy that you have this intention. Mabo patted Su Pinggan's shoulder, feeling very relieved. He is worthy of being a brother. Even if there is no money, it is enough to say this. Su Pinggan saw it clearly. Mabo didn't believe that he could come up with so much money. He has lived in the same room for several years, and he can know what you think with just one look. Boss, I know you don't believe it, but you can wait and see, Su Pinggan said with a profound meaning on his face. Mabo was stunned for a moment, looking at Su Pinggan. Based on Mabo's understanding of Su Pinggan did not lie. Could it be that Su Pinggan could really get so much money for himself? Mabo was a little unsure of Su Pinggan. Pinggan, can you tell me the reason? Mabo asked with a serious face. I signed a confidentiality contract and I really can't say it. I will only say one thing, that is, it is related to the products I represent. It won't take long for the boss to know, Su Pinggan said directly. Mabo nodded and believed what Su Pinggan said. Okay, after this party, I will go back and start the first item of the second step plan of the tea tycoon, high quality and low price without leaving any inventory, Mabo said with a gleam in his eyes. Su Pinggan admired Mabo's courage. He did what he said and never dragged his feet. After the two talked for a while, Su Pinggan returned to his room to rest. The next day, he called Lin Yide over, and the three of them discussed it for another morning, which was very intense. Whether right or wrong, if there is a problem, just raise it directly and then solve it collectively. This is the style of discussing things among the brothers. Pinggan has set sail, and you, boss, have also begun to implement your plan to become a tea tycoon. Wen, Ru Long, Ming Gang, the rest of you have all started to rush towards your own goals, but it's a pity that I am still confined in the family business. Lin Yide was full of emotion, and he felt even more determined to break away from the family business and start his own business. Chapter 48. Lao Lin, your family's electrical appliance factory is now stable. You should have a serious talk with your family. I talked to my father alone when I started my own business last year. I believe my uncle will support you. Mabo looked at Lin Yide and said seriously. I will have a good talk with my father after this party, Lin Yide said with a serious face. The success of Mabo, Su Pinggan and others really stimulated Lin Yide. If you can start a business successfully, I can do it too. Lin Yide, am definitely not a weak chicken. This is what Lin Yide thought. After lunch, Lin Yide separated from the two, while Su Pinggan and Mabo drove out and started to play. Since we came to Yiwu, we must have a good time. The business atmosphere here is strong. Walking around and seeing can broaden our horizons. The next day, Li Rulong and Su Minggang arrived in the morning, and Zhang Wenhun arrived in the afternoon. All the brothers gathered together, had dinner together in the evening, and after dinner, went to Mabo's house to chat? Winnin, tell me, what do you think? Getting married next year, this is too fast, Mabo said with a smile as he looked at Zhang Wenyin. I have to say this. I was really shocked when I heard the news just now, Li Rulong said with a smile. You got married so suddenly. You can't be the beauty from LS that you know, Lin Yide said with a smile. That's very likely, Su Pinggan also said, looking at Zhang Wenyin meaningfully. Dear bosses, I will tell you the truth, okay? Zhang Wenyin knew that he couldn't escape, so he told the truth. My fiancé and I met in LS. We fell in love at first sight. We got along well after a while. After we decided to get married, I took her to meet my parents. Similarly, I also met her parents. This matter is settled, Zhang Wenyin said directly. That's not right. What do you mean after deciding to get married? Is there any other explanation for this? Lin Yide looked at Zhang Wenyin meaningfully. You don't talk about the key points. Don't even think about passing these useless things. Zhang Wenyin slapped his forehead. Damn, why are you so smart? Sandizi, you will be dragged out and beaten again if you know too much, Zhang Wenyin said unhappily. Everyone laughed. Obviously, Lin Yide touched Zhang Wenyin's sensitive spot. Go ahead, make him not tell the truth, Lin Yide waved his hand. Su Pinggan, Mabo and others stood up immediately, and a group of people laughed and surrounded Zhang Wenyin. No, I'm telling the truth, I was wrong, Zhang Wenyin had already sensed the danger. It's too late, Mabo shouted, and everyone rushed over, surrounded Zhang Wenyin and ravaged him for a while before stopping. Tell the truth, otherwise, you will be punished by being hit on the ground next time, Lin Yide said with a smile, and Zhang Wenyin had a resentful expression on his face. Okay, I'll tell the truth, she's pregnant, it's been 3 months. After the baby is born, we will hold the wedding. After this party, we will go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to apply for a marriage certificate, Zhang Wenyin said directly. Damn, I knew it, Mabo said with contempt. I'm curious, what kind of beauty can make you, Zhang Wenyin, fall in love at first sight, Lin Yide said beside him. Zhang Wenyin looked at Lin Yide, with a dull face, raised his finger and pointed at Lin Yide, unable to speak. How can this bastard be so smart? This is what Zhang Wenyin thought. While others looked at Lin Yide. It is obvious that Zhang Wenyin is holding back. She belongs to the Zybe ethnic group, so beautiful, Zhang Wenyin said with his head down. With a snap, Mabo patted Zhang Wenyin on the shoulder. No matter what ethnic group she is, now collectively known as the Chinese nation, we are all Chinese as long as you are truly in love, we wish you all the best, Mabo said directly. Thank you, boss, I think so too, Zhang Wenyin said directly. Now I understand why Wenyin fell in love at first sight. If it were me, I would also fall in love at first sight, Lin Yide pouted and said directly. Yes, now I really envy Wenyin, wish you all the best, Su Pinggan also said. After everyone envied Zhang Wenyin for a while, they teased him for a while, and then they started chatting. The topic unconsciously shifted to their respective careers. Mabo took the opportunity to bring out the tea tycoon plan and started to let everyone discuss it. I have already started the first step of this plan. Yesterday, Pinggan, Laolin and I discussed it. Today, everyone is here, let's discuss it together, Mabo said seriously. After all, when this plan was formulated, everyone had done field investigations. Now if there is anything they don't know, they can ask Mabo. They have an outline in their minds and began to put forward their own opinions. This discussion really led to a lot of questions. Zhang Wenyin raised questions from the perspective of what he saw and understood during his inspection in XZ, while Su Mingyang and Li Rulong started to raise questions from their own perspectives. The 6 people discussed for about an hour and finally came to a conclusion that brand is really important and must be built. Mabo must build a tea brand that can be shown off. Boss, if you really follow this plan, you don't have enough funds. Brand building requires funds, time, and reputation. The latter 2 are easy to solve, but the first 2 are not. Without 100 million or 200 million funds, don't even think about making your brand famous, Lin Yide said with a frown. You said it's too little. Just for brand building, you can't do without 200 million funds. Does the tea tycoon plan have to be postponed? Mabo frowned and said seriously. In fact, both of you are wrong. Brand building takes time. It requires long-term, uninterrupted publicity and good reputation. The combination of the two can create the value of the brand. Boss is right about one thing. That is, We really can't do it without 200 million yuan in funds. However, the 200 million yuan is not invested all at once, but in batches and stages. You can take your time, boss. Don't focus on the brand. 80% of your energy should be put on the establishment of tea bases, and 20% of your energy should be put on business reputation. It will take about a year to complete the layout of the tea bases. At this time, you can free up your hands for brand building and magnify the advantages of the tea tycoon as much as possible. We have directly affiliated tea bases, no middlemen, and we don't sell stale goods. Our grading standards are higher than national standards, and so on. This is our unique advantage. At this time, Adan Watpingin said, introduce international standards, and enhance our brand grade. This is the core competitiveness of the tea tycoon. I believe that if we do this for a few years, the tea tycoon plan can be fully realized. Zhang Wenyan said with a serious face. Today is the Ghost Festival. I went back to my hometown. I just came back. Sorry for the late update. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 49 I will be your helper in the future. Wenyan is right. There is one more thing to note, that is, compliance is required. According to my inference, national laws and regulations will become more and more perfect, and business operations must comply with the regulations. Otherwise, once they are investigated, it will be very troublesome. By that time, the government will have no choice but to deal with you. Public opinion will force the government to punish you. Therefore, when planning, all kinds of certificates and licenses must be complete. Although it will increase some costs, these costs can be reduced through investment negotiations with local governments, Li Rulong added. Boss, I don't know much about business, but I know about sports. When building a brand, should we cooperate with some national sports projects? Athletes are all in great shape. Even athletes choose Boss's products, which further proves the quality of Boss's products. I learned this from Fitness Treasure Drinks, Su Mingyang also added. Yes, what Mingyang said is very important. Why Fitness Treasure is being promoted so quickly across the country is inseparable from the endorsement of athletes. Boss must consider this, Lin Yide said directly. Let's do it step by step. If you summarize too much all of a sudden, it's easy to get confused. Now put the rest aside for now. Let's solve the layout of the tea base first. This is the key and the root of everything. We must master it in our own hands, boss. You must not let your family members interfere with the company you founded, not even if they buy shares. Do you understand? Su Pinggan looked at Mabo meaningfully and said. Mabo nodded. The family's tea company is a joint stock company. Although the family gets the lion's share, it doesn't belong to individuals after all. The tea tycoon plan is his own, and he must not let others interfere. Understand, the tea tycoon plan is jointly planned by the brothers. My company will not have other shareholders. Even if shareholders are needed in the future, only the brothers will be qualified. No one else will be qualified to join. Mabo directly expressed his attitude. This time, the discussion among several people ended until almost midnight. Lin Yide did not go home, but directly opened a room in the hotel to sleep. Tomorrow, the brothers will go up the mountain to barbecue together. It would be boring for 6 grown men to have a barbecue. The company of beautiful women is indispensable. Since this is Lin Yide's territory, Lin Yide will arrange it. As the young master of the Lin family, Lin Yide also has a wide range of friends. He made an appointment with 6 beautiful friends to have a barbecue and play together. We are all friends. It is very common to have an outing together. Talking about everything has a special flavor. Isn't it true that the world is well known and well trained? Due to some irresistible reasons, 500 words are omitted here, and no detailed introduction is given. Everyone understands, barbecue on the mountain, boating on the water, singing in KTV, and tasting tea in the tea house. For 3 days, everyone abandoned the usual pressure, indulged their emotions, and talked and laughed happily. During this period, Su Pinggan purchased laboratory equipment through Xingling. All of them were top-level equipment, and many of them were more advanced than what Miaoyong required. It cost more than 3 million euros and clearly stipulated the arrival date. It must be delivered to J City within 1 month. Su Pinggan only paid 10% of the deposit and asked for the goods to arrive within a month. If the goods are delivered on time, he will get a bonus. If the equipment you send fails the inspection, you will not get a cent and will be hunted by the killer. Regarding the killer's pursuit, I talked to the bosses of these companies through anonymous calls. You should think about what to do to avoid these people playing dirty tricks on Su Pinggan. Now I don't have time to waste with them. Everything will be dealt with severely and strictly. Under the stimulation of money, they all agreed to deliver the goods on time and guarantee the quality of the equipment. The two parties agreed to settle the bill within a week after the installation and commissioning. Su Pinggan agreed to this. On this day, several people went to Lin Yide's home to visit Lin Yide's parents and gave them a gift. It was not an expensive gift, but a gift that the elderly needed. At this point in the Lin family, there was nothing missing. Mabo had been here once before and was very lively. After dinner, everyone went to the living room to chat with Lin Changguang. The topics ranged from all over the world, including economy and international current affairs. The topics were imaginative and the chat was quite good. From time to time, Lin Changguang laughed. Everyone chatted for about an hour before everyone said goodbye and left. After seeing everyone off, Lin Yide returned home and sat down directly in the living room. Yide, your friends are very good. They are smart, flexible, and stick to their principles and don't follow blindly. They are very good and will help you in the future, Lin Changguang said with a smile. Yes, after this gathering and communication, I found that they have grown a lot and have surpassed me in the depth of looking at problems. Father, I want to resign from the family business and start my own business. Lin Yide looked at his father Lin Changguang and said seriously. Yide, what industry do you plan to engage in when you start your own business? Lin Changguang asked. The family electrical appliance factory has been on the right track. The eldest son manages the family's real estate company, the second son manages the electrical appliance factory, and the third son Lin Yide is also capable. Staying in the electrical appliance factory is not a long-term thing. Lin Changguang has thought about Lin Yide's affairs many times. I have thought about it. I plan to create another electrical appliance brand, and let the family electrical appliance factory produce it. I will go the e-commerce route, Lin Yide blurted out. This plan was made as early as graduation, but the family electrical appliance factory was not stable at that time, so I could only help at home. Now that the electrical appliance factory has stabilized, I must start my own plan. Mabo, Su Pinggan, and Zhang Wenhun have brought a lot of stimulation to Lin Yide. How much money do you need? Lin Changguang asked. This is an assessment to see if Lin Yide can pass it. If he can't pass it, he will study honestly for a while. 6 million, Lin Yide said truthfully. Although he was helping at home, he was not idle. Instead, he made some modifications to his plan through learning. This amount was calculated again and again. Okay, this month you should complete the handover with your second brother. And I will allocate 6 million funds to you at the beginning of next month, Lin Changguang agreed. If the money Lin Yide wants is less than 5 million, Lin Changguang will never let Lin Yide go out to start a business. Now that Lin Yide wants 6 million funds, it means that Lin Yide's work in the company has not been in vain, and he has deeply realized his shortcomings. You are going the e-commerce route. Which website do you plan to cooperate with? There are several e-commerce platforms in China. The ones with the best development momentum are dongdong.com and baobao.com. Which of these two do you plan to cooperate with? As far as I know, many private electrical appliance companies in the Jiangsu, Zhejiang and Guangdong areas have cooperated with baobao.com, Lin Changguang continued to ask. This is another small test. Chapter 50. This is the principle, no negotiation. The products on dongdong.com and baobao.com are uneven. Dongdong.com is one step ahead in product quality review. If you don't have a long-term plan, it's better to go to baobao.com. You can make money by selling at a low price. With a long-term plan, treat this business as a career. Dongdong.com is the only choice at present. Another thing is that Su Pinggan and Mabo are both on dongdong.com. They have already taken root. I can use their customer base to conduct joint promotions among the three companies and increase my brand awareness in one fell swoop. As long as the quality of my products is guaranteed, I firmly believe that I will make this company bigger and stronger. Lin Yide explained his plan in detail. I will allocate 10 million yuan to you and give you 3 years. If your company loses money after 3 years, you can come back to work in the company at home. Lin Changguang directly increased Lin Yide's startup capital. The Lin family is not short of funds. When the eldest and second son started their businesses, they basically spent more than 10 million yuan. Now it's the third son, and he must treat them equally, so he also gave Lin Yi 10 million yuan in startup capital. From this, it can be seen that Lin Yi's family is more financially powerful than Ma Bo's family. They can take out tens of millions of funds anytime and anywhere without blinking an eye. They are a wealthy family, truly worthy of the name. Su Pinggan and his friends returned to the hotel and rested directly. They had to catch a flight tomorrow. After a few days of playing, they also released the pressure that was usually accumulated in their hearts. They could travel light and continue to work hard for their careers. The next day, Lin Yi came to the hotel to arrange a car to send the brothers away. Zhang Wenyan also announced that the wedding venue would be set at LS. Everyone was invited to meet at LS next year. The specific time would be notified by phone. Everyone gave a round of blessings and said that they would give a big gift. Then they began to leave the hotel. Ma Bo left first, driving a car, very cool. The others went to the airport collectively. The flights were all concentrated at noon. When Su Pinggan got off the plane, the car was already waiting at the airport. He got in the car directly and returned home. He rested at home for a day before starting work. In the office of the chairman of Shyanki Group, Su Pinggan first called Miao Yuang and asked him a lot of questions. The company arranged a place for Miao Yuang to live, a 2-bedroom and 1 living room with all kinds of furniture and appliances. The company paid 3 months' rent, and Miao Yuang would be responsible for it after 3 months. "How is your assistant recruitment going?" Su Pinggan asked after taking a sip of tea. "I interviewed for a day yesterday, but didn't recruit anyone. The local universities here have no idea about anti-corrosion. I contacted the international students who returned from abroad, and only 2 were willing to come to J-City. The others wanted to stay in the big city to work," Miao Yuang said helplessly. "This is the reality, and you are helpless." "How are the strengths of those 2 people?" Su Pinggan asked calmly. "I don't care if those people don't want to come. If you don't want to come today, you will need to make more efforts if you want to come in the future. The Future Shyanki Research Institute is not for everyone. It can be seen from the resume that there is work experience in a foreign anti-corrosion research institute. Whether it is true or not needs to be verified." Miao Yuang told the truth. "Send their information to my email, and I will arrange verification," Su Pinggan said directly, and Miao Yuang nodded. "Have you confirmed the location of your laboratory?" Su Pinggan continued to ask. "It has been confirmed. It will be arranged on the 6th floor of the Science and Technology building as a super-paid research laboratory." Miao Yuang was very satisfied with the location. A whole floor was enough. "The equipment will be delivered in the near future. You must make a good plan. Once the equipment is installed, it cannot be moved in a short period of time. Don't forget that you also need to conduct research on other anti-corrosion projects. You must have a long-term plan. Do you understand?" Su Pinggan looked at Miao Yuang and said. "I understand. This batch of equipment only occupies 1/6 of the test area. I have already made a plan," Miao Yuang reported his plan seriously. "Very good, just follow your plan. If you need funds, report to me," Su Pinggan said directly, and Miao Yuang nodded. "There is one more thing, I don't know if I should say it." Miao Yuang was embarrassed for a while, and Su Pinggan just smiled. "Just say it, as long as it is good for the company, you can say everything, and it doesn't matter if you are wrong," Su Pinggan set the tone. "In the past few years at the Heilong Anti-Corrosion Research Institute, I met several researchers who also returned from overseas but were not reused through the internet. They are all very young and want me to ask if we are carrying out other projects here," Miao Yuang said directly. "Of course, as long as the projects can convince me, it is not a problem at all. Experimental equipment and research funds are not a problem. However, those who are just idling around and using the backward projects abandoned by developed countries in Europe and the United States to defraud funds should not come here. You can tell them the truth. If their projects are truly advanced projects, I have no problem here. I will immediately allocate funds and let them lead the project research. There is another point that you need to make clear to them in advance. The project results belong to me, and they can get the right of authorship and bonus. This is the principle and will never be discussed," Su Pinggan said with a serious face. "I understand, I will reply to them today," Miao Yuang said directly. "Your 6 assistants must be in place before the equipment is installed and debugged this month, otherwise, I will arrange it for you," Su Pinggan said directly. "That's great, Please ask Mr. Su to arrange it for me. I really don't want to worry about this matter. Miao Yuan directly handed the matter to Su Pinggan. Su Pinggan was stunned for a moment, and then laughed. Okay, I'll do it, Su Pinggan said directly, and Miao Yuan breathed a sigh of relief. The two chatted for a while, and Miao Yuan left and went to his office on the 6th floor of the Science and Technology building. Su Pinggan drank tea alone and thought about it, picked up the phone and dialed directly. Hello, that person, a man's voice came out. Uncle Feng, I'm Su Pinggan, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Pinggan, what's the matter? Feng Ziao remembered who Su Pinggan was, the nephew of his old comrade Lu Xiaodang. And they had eaten together several times. Uncle Feng, I need to recruit a group of security guards here, so I thought of Uncle Feng, Su Pinggan said with a smile. This is a good thing. How many do you need? I'll give you 50 people. Is it enough? Feng Ziao said directly, and Su Pinggan's face was black. 50 people, this is too much, and he doesn't need so many now. Uncle Feng, this is too much? My nephew's company is small and can't handle so much, Su Pinggan said with a wry smile. Feng Ziao is the director of the resettlement office of the Veterans Affairs Office. He needs to arrange a large number of veterans every year. He knew that Su Pinggan's company was not big and didn't tell many other places. Otherwise, Feng Ziao would have asked for 500 people. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone, see you in the next video.